It's a jolly day. Would you like to try our peach mango pie with a side of the Great Ace Attorney? Because if you do, then let's go ahead and get started.
Hi, hey everyone, happy Tuesday, hope everyone is doing good. Gemma, thank you so much for being first. Tough Tony, hey to you. Ginger, hello. Alt Lux, oh, thank you so much for joining us today. Can we please give a warm consolations welcome to Alt Lux for being new here. Beef Enjoyer, I love your username so much, god damn it. Welcome in, Ace Attorney time, that is right. Welcome in, I brought popcorn. Ooh, is it good? Is it gonna be good? I was really excited and looking forward to this stream. But I hope everyone is doing great today. I'm really excited. I'm also like extremely nervous. I'm so nervous that I literally this entire like 5 minutes of the pre-stream, I like muted and deafened Kieran because we're on Discord call. But as you can see, it's not just me today. We are joined by a very handsome and beefy VTuber. I am joined by today with my friend Kiro Style TV, who will be joining and reading with us the Great Ace Attorney Escapades, because we finished the first game last week. So pretty much now we get to read a bunch of the special side stories that are like extra little filler content in between all of the cases. And I figured why not bring in a friend that, you know, likes this game as much as I do. And also just because I haven't collabed with people in a while, so I'm really excited for this. I'll go ahead and have him introduce himself in a bit. He's literally on call. I just have him on deafen. But I also have a little command, so if you guys want to check him out, please, I implore you guys to follow him on twitch.tv/KiroStyleTV, as well as on Twitter at KiroStyle. If you guys like JRPGs, visual novels, and of course, handsome boys, you guys can please check him out. Extra buttered garlic popcorn? Did you really like make fancy schmancy popcorn? Handsome? What? Kira's not. What? You don't think so? He's probably, don't tell, if he's listening, don't say anything, but I think his model's pretty handsome. But anyways, I'm that one VOD watcher. Oh, really? Oh, thank you so much for tuning in today. Honestly, you know, big shout out to you because your comments have been extremely kind, and they really mean a lot to me. I kind of just been like using YouTube as like a whatever to like archive my VODs, but knowing that people actually like watch them and care, and enjoy the voices and all that really means a lot to me, just because I really enjoy this game, and getting to meet more people that enjoy this game is really an honor and a blessing. Happy Tuesday to you too, Kieran. Hope you're doing well too. I'm doing good and chilling myself. I am doing pretty good today. I had a pretty good day today, so I hope everyone is having a great one as well. As always, feel free to let us know how your day was, if you ate any delicious food. The best part, garlic butter is simple to make. Oh, you just like put like butter and like garlic salt in like a microwave, right? I'm trolling Kieran. Must mock him when I can. Oh my god, please bully him. Don't bully me. I'm sensitive and shy. Today was a really good day. I'm happy to hear that. That's awesome. That's awesome. Before we bring him in, because if you guys don't know Kiro, he is a froggy martial artist VTuber, and he has a lot of like frogs for his aesthetic and theme. So I thought fitting today's check. God damn it. Fuck. Today's what? Today's check-in question is, what is your favorite animal? For me personally, I grew up loving dolphins, but I would say now my favorite, I think bears are really cute. Both the animal and never mind. I don't want to finish that joke. Blend the garlic with melted butter using the stove. Ooh. And then add more herbs and let it cool. Hell yeah, that sounds so good. Well, I hope the Escapades are worth that garlic butter popcorn. Don't worry, Kieran, I won't bully you for now. I'm so shy, please. I heard bears. Yeah, bears are really cute. Like bear ears and cute little like bear plushies and stuff like that. Wait, I lied. I'm stupid. I also like dinosaurs now. Wait, hold on. Let me grab my dinosaur plushie. Okay. I don't know if you guys have seen my dinosaur plushie. I'll pull it up sometime when I don't have someone on hold. But anyways, yeah, I like bears and I like dinosaurs. I don't like horses, but zebras are my favorite animal. So you're kind of like a horse girl adjacent, but like only specifically zebras. Is that it? But anyway, I don't want to keep him waiting, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring him in. So guys, please please join me in giving a warm welcome to Kiro. Hello, can you hear me? Hey, please tell me you didn't hear. I can't hear you through Discord listening through the stream. No! Don't listen to anything I said this past 10 minutes. Oh my gosh. Well, anyways, yeah, feel free to introduce yourself to our friends here. Oh, hold on. I have you muted. There you go.
Oh, hey everyone. Can you hear me now? I'm Kiro. I'm a frog-loving martial artist, and I'm very happy to be here on Kieran's stream. I love the Great Ace Attorney, so I'm very excited.
Heck yeah. And of course, as always, please let us know if any of the audio needs to be adjusted. Please let me know if I sound fine, if Kiro sounds fine, if the game needs to be turned up or down. Did he sound good in that introduction? Could you hear him and understand him very clearly? Bro, it's Kiro.
Hi, Sai. Good to see you.
You all sound good? Okay, cool. Well, yeah, so obviously your favorite, is your favorite animal the frog, or is it just your theme?
It is frogs now.
Now, what was it
Ever
before?
since I adopted the frog as my favorite animal, it is now my favorite. I didn't really have a favorite animal before. I just liked a bunch of different animals.
Okay, the cop-out excuse, I see.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm really excited for this stream, but also I'm incredibly nervous.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited too.
And not nervous, I see.
Kieran's lying. He's not nervous.
Oh, gosh, I wish. But anyways, so it looks like Kira was telling me that we have the Escapades, which are like little side story episodes. And then we also have like these moving pictures, which are like, it's another, is this like supposed to be one trial?
Originally, when this game came out, these were released in stages before the game came out. So like 7 days before the game came out, they released one. Then 6 days before the game, they released one. Then 5 days before the game came out, they released one. So they're meant to be, they tell a single story, but they came out a day apart from each other.
Oh, so like it's like as if someone was like streaming the game, and then they only did like December 24th on December 24th, and then December 25th on December 25th.
Yeah, and if I believe correctly, the reason why each day has a part 1 and part 2 is because they actually took a poll between each one. So like they would put out the first video, and then the fans would vote on a poll that would influence what the second video said.
Oh, so then would it be like you would do day 1 indictment and then day 2 indictment, or would you still do in order?
Do it in order from top to bottom still.
Oh, I see.
So it's kind of like I guess I don't want to spoil it, but in each one at the end they ask you a question, and the fans have to vote like yes or no, and then they had different videos prepared whether it was yes or no, and they released that corresponding video to go along with it.
Okay, cool. Well, we'll go. This is like a thing here, but the priority today is going to be the escapades. So if we have time and if we're feeling it, then we can go back to the moving pictures afterwards. But the main meat of today's stream is the escapades. And so from what I understand from the internet, these are supposed to be like individual little side stories that like take place in between trials. Is that what's up? So like this one is like after the first trial?
Sometimes in between and sometimes during.
Oh,
the course
really?
of the story, like mid-story.
Okay, cool.
You can kind of tell based on context.
Yeah.
When it's supposed to fit in.
Okay, yeah. Well, that's exactly why like I specifically chose to save these until I finished the whole first game.
I think that's a good move, personally.
Okay, yeah. So that's good. So we're pretty much just gonna go through all 8 of them today, and then yeah, if we have time, we'll go ahead and go into the moving pictures. Hello, it might be bedtime, but I have tomorrow off, so I'll be lurking for a little while. No problem. Thank you so much for stopping by. And of course, obviously, since it's going to be both of us here, if I miss any messages or anything like that, I apologize in advance. But yeah, how you feeling? Are you good to go?
Yeah, I'm excited.
All right, let's do this. You're about to play the escapade entitled Episode 1 in the Defendant's Antechamber. This escapade includes spoilers about the first game's story. Continue?
Bring it on.
Let's do this. 22nd November, 3:08 p.m. Supreme Court of Judicature, Defendant's Antechamber 5. Oh yeah, we never really divided who was gonna read for whom. Obviously, I'm gonna read for Yunosuke, and Kira's gonna read for Kazuma. But if there's anyone that you want to read for, go ahead and let me know.
Yeah, I'll take whatever you don't want to do. How's your old man voice?
Okay, I can go for. Oh wait. Oh, would you rather read for Korikuta or would you rather read for Nosa?
I don't remember if they're both in this one.
Oh, okay. I guess I'll just do Korikuta for now, and then if Nosa shows up, you can do Drill Sergeant.
Sure.
Just look at my priceless treasure now. Myself, I have scrubbed and scrubbed. But the repellent odor of Schmeat will never be repelled from its resplendent surface again.
Meat. But you have it at your back. Oh, you have it back in your possession at least. You should be grateful, old man.
How dare you!
Excuse me, but I'd just like to get that Zabuton cushion there if I could.
Rest assured, you miserable military malefactor, this is not over. Incarceration awaits those who would defraud a senior citizen for his priceless treasures.
Watch your tongue, old man. Mark my words, I won't.
Sorry, Sergeant, but could I just get at that zabuton cushion there as well?
Hmm? Oh. I won't go to jail, never! Imagine if I did! The very next day, my boy would starve without the chain of command in place to provide for him.
Using the child to protect yourself? Myself, I call that absolute cowardice!
Well, really? And who just employed the old poor defenseless senior citizen tactic, The only way to fight an enemy who's using underhand tactics is with a tit-for-tat strategy.
He said tit. Sorry to interrupt again, but I just need to get at that Western-style cushion there on the sofa.
Enough of this insubordination. What do you want, man?
Oh, please, don't mind me.
Aha! Do my eyes deceive me, or is this the wide-eyed criminal from the trial before?
Wide-eyed, perhaps, but criminal? No.
What is this unhealthy fascination you exhibit with the seating arrangements for others, Why were you peering under the cushion of this upholstered seat?
Oh, well, the thing is...
Any luck? Did you find it?
No, sadly not. I don't think it's here, Kazuma.
You really are a liability, Ryunosuke. Report! At once! Have you lost something? Is that it? Yes. We were just on our way to a party to celebrate my friend's victory here when...
Boyfriend!
I also am, like, I'm crying because I'm actually seeing Kazuma here. It's been so long.
Right?
Oh, man, I miss him.
I forgot what he looked like.
Oh, stop lying. I realized that my university pin badge was missing.
A university pin badge, you say?
Yes, from my collar here, you see?
Affirmative! Uniforms must be kept in prime condition at all times! A missing badge is unacceptable!
I thought if I looked around, it would probably turn up somewhere. Like the old tale of the Koban coin and the steak.
A parable of which I am acutely aware.
Wait, you think his haircut's silly? Okay, honestly, to be honest, I did too. I wasn't sure if I was gonna like Kazuma because I didn't know how I felt about his haircut, and then I fell in love with him.
It's all in the headband. It's all in the headband.
Man, once again, Capcom just gets me. But I've exhausted my search now, really. The only logical conclusion is that someone must have stolen it.
Don't look at me! I don't just find any old metal objects irresistible, you know. Imagine what would happen if little Trooper Ido here swallowed something like that.
Oh, if the baby cries, you have to cry.
Wah. I'm afraid we'll have to give up, Ryunosuke. Still, if you tell the office your student number, they should be able to issue you with a new one. What's the matter? Don't tell me.
I'm looking at you with lovingly eyes, Kazuma. Isn't it obvious? Yes. I don't remember my student number.
I don't believe it. I mean, this is the second time you've lost your badge, isn't it?
Third, actually.
If you didn't think you could remember it, you should have made a note of it somewhere. I told you that until I was blue in the face the last time this happened.
Yes. I do seem to remember someone telling me something along those lines. It was you, wasn't it?
You can't even remember who told you that? You need to remember it?
Well, student numbers are six digits, Kazuma. Who could remember 6 whole digits?
Yume isn't exactly a long-established university, you know. all our numbers are still rather low. In fact, they only use the last 3 digits.
Well, that might help, I suppose.
That might help. Ryunosuke, it's only 3 digits you need to remember. Just 3.
Oh, he's so stupid. I love him. Sorry, I only have 1 brain cell.
Yes, well, anyway, young man, myself, I was greatly impressed with you in the courtroom today.
Oh, you mean me?
A lawyer already before you even graduated, and such a loyal boyfriend to this one.
This one? What's that supposed to mean?
Oh, no. I still have much to learn. In fact, that was brought home to me in no uncertain terms only last year. My Achilles heel was spectacularly exposed by my best friend here.
Indeed.
What? By me? Oh, this is the first I've heard about it.
Yes, by Ryunosuke Naruhodo. You can't have forgotten, surely. It was last summer, at the speech contest.
The speech contest? Oh, that.
Contestants had to take to the stage and deliver a public address on any subject they chose. We are competing to give the most compelling and powerful speech.
And yours was great. It made a huge impression on the audience. And also, me.
Obviously, since I was a budding student of law, I was determined to win. And sure enough, one by one, my opposition fell. When I reached the final at last, I came up against you.
Yes, so you did. Wait, my bad. So hold on, I just need to look back. Is this how they met, or was this just a situation that they were just put into together already?
I think they later make it clear that it's around the time they met.
Oh, okay, got it.
But they haven't said it yet.
Got it, that's fine.
Not being rude, but when I first laid eyes on you, I thought to myself,
Oh, they better be gay fucking thoughts.
this cheeky, wide-eyed no-hoper is out of his depth. He's gonna be a pushover.
Damn it! That's your version of not being rude, is it?
See, I always thought that they were like childhood friends that knew each other for longer until I did this escapade, and I was like, oh, they actually haven't known each other that long.
I mean, it's nice that they actually explain how they met, because I was under that assumption as well.
Well, I paid for my complacency, because it brought on that humiliating defeat.
Actually, do you so since you know the context, were these DLC chapters, or like how were these like accessed originally?
That's a good question. I don't remember.
I'm assuming it's probably DLC. Well, I mean, I guess it wouldn't be DLC because it's only for the first game, but I think it's just interesting that, you know, they have these extra chapters.
Yeah, at the very least, I know they weren't paid DLC. They might have been free DLC.
Oh, okay, got it.
Defeat? How are your ranks compromised? My speech was going very well. I had the audience in the palm of my hand. They hung on my every word. And then, when I came to the very last line...
Yes? And what happened at the very last line?
It was supposed to be a climactic end. Unfortunately, I completely fouled it up.
Never!
You mean you stumbled on your words? Spectacularly. Even now, I can't believe I ruined it.
He took one look and realized, oh no, I'm in love.
Well, what on earth did you say, man? Ryunosuke, you'd better say it. I still can't get my tongue around it.
He was in love! Sure, of course. I can still recall it perfectly. What you said at the end of your speech, or rather, what you intended to say at the end of your speech, was this. So arise, ladies and gentlemen, and applaud our forefathers' plight and the fight for filial piety.
And what went wrong?
What indeed? Myself, I see no problem with the pronunciation of these paltry words.
In that case, old man, I invite you to say it yourself.
Wait, that's true. Wait, obsessed with how Ryunosuke can't remember his own student ID, but he can recite the exact words that Kazuma humiliated himself with during their first meeting?
Well then, I shall. So arise, ladies and gentlemen, and applaud our forefathers' plight and the flight, the flight of the... it's impossible!
The arise, ladies and gentlemen part I delivered perfectly. But the next part had me floundering for a whole 5 minutes. By the end of it, I was on my knees in front of the podium, a blabbering mess.
And that's when the audience started to heckle you. Arise, arise! They were shouting.
Hell on earth.
Then of course this man went and delivered his word-perfect speech with a perfect ending. How did it go again?
Let me see. So, my dear fellows, the message is simple. Treat your father and mother with respect. Something like that?
I mean, talk about stating the obvious. The fact is I lost that speech.
Tongue-tied is the only way to describe it.
Well, it is quite tricky to say, I agree. That final fight for the filial piety, I'm messing it up, oh my god. That fight for filial piety, especially.
See, it's not so easy now, is it?
It's true!
And ever since that day, I've had this question whirling around in my head. Why did our forefathers choose such an awkward phrase? Was it to mock their children?
It was meant to mock the streamers playing this video game.
I mean, it should never have been called filial piety in the first place.
At least you're going to Great Britain soon. It might not come up much there.
Well, anyway. Having lost that accursed contest, I came after you to ask you a question. How is it that you never trip up on your words? I inquired. And you just gave me a broad smile and said, speaking fast is my hobby. I mean, really, what kind of hobby is that?
Do you think you can take your hand off your sword? Besides, it's just a way to pass the time.
Well, could you take your hand off your camera?
Shut up! Don't look at me!
After that, you started talking at me 10 to the dozen, like you were possessed almost. Honestly, you can't imagine the shock I suffered that day. You really can't.
You're right. I really can't.
Speaking fast is just sort of a hobby I'd expect a civilian like you to waste his time on.
Well, you have to practice, of course. But there are some simple things to start with. Like this famous one, for example. Swift samurai sword swipe silently sideways.
Ah, yes, even a decrepit tongue in an ailing frame such as mine can find its way around that one.
I've no doubt. It's just a bit of fun, really. I can't imagine anybody would struggle to say it. Isn't that right, Kazuma?
Swift swarm right soar. Ah!
No, wait, that's so cute. Oh no. A blabbering mess by word 2. Oh, he's so cute.
It's not just a samurai. Every good soldier needs to be able to handle a sword. That's why I've been busy teaching Idol the finer points of swordplay. None of this wordplay nonsense, Private.
Oh no, it's literally that. What do you have in your hand? A knife? No!
No!
Come to think of it, not long after that, we started to attend lectures together, didn't we? And we got into that debate about family values at the sukiyaki place on campus. Do you remember? Are you telling me Ryunosuke met him, fell in love, and then was like, I'm gonna adjust my entire campus class schedule so that I'll be in class with him and then I'll sit next to him? Oh, what a coincidence. You're sitting here? Is it okay if I sit here too? Is this literally what happened?
Yes. Your argument was full of jokes and puns and wordplay as usual. I remember well.
Oh, was it?
In any case, I swore that I would never let myself forget the shock you gave me back then. And as a symbol of how seriously I took that oath, I decided to wear this, my red Hachimaki headband.
Wait, they explained that too?
I also learned wind magic so it could flutter about wherever I wanted.
I love that it just keeps doing that. It's the drama. Sorry, Kazuma.
Yes?
You've lost me there, I'm afraid. I don't see the link. What does your red headband have to do with your oath? Oh, give me 1 second. Neela, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, gamers. I hope everyone is all doing good. Sorry I can't give a proper hiya, hey, because we're doing a collab right now. But either way, thank you so much for the raid. I really appreciate it. If you guys are new here, it's nice to meet you guys. My name is Kieran. I'm a magical idol VTuber. I'm also a queer Filipino-American voice actor for animation, anime, and video games. If you guys play Fire Emblem Heroes, I provide the English voices for Sane and Rickard. If you guys play Genshin, I play Kazuha's great-grandfather, Kaedehara Yoshinori. And if you guys like Yali or Boys Love, I play Koichi Mizuki in The Titan's Bride. Thank you so much for gamers for coming in. Scarth, thank you for following and joining the Constellations. I really appreciate it. If you guys want to stick around, we are currently reading the Great Ace Attorney side stories with Kiro style. But if you guys have to go, I completely understand. But otherwise, yeah, thank you guys so much for coming in. And yeah, feel free to sit back and relax and join us. What does your red headband have to do with your oath?
Because you'll always remind me of that smug look on your face as you utter those tantalizing words.
He's literally in love. What words? You mean another tongue twister?
I practiced and practiced until my tongue bled, but in the end, I mastered it.
Mastered what?
Well, I think it's time you heard this, actually. Listen carefully now. Here goes.
Will you marry me, Ryunosuke Naruhodo? Will you marry me, Ryunosuke Naruhodo? Will you marry me, Ryunosuke Naruhodo?
Objection! Red headband, lead headband, dead headband. There! Word perfect, see?
Oh, that's so good. Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather. Is it gay to wear a headband every day and practice a tongue twister for a boy you just met? Yes. I'd actually been meaning to ask you about that. About the story behind your headband, I mean.
Well, now you know. So that I'll never forget the shock and humiliation of that day. That's why I wear this red headband every single day without fail.
Literally just for Ryunosuke! This freaking game! Capcom knew what they were doing! Well, I don't know exactly how much of a shock you think you had back then, but it can't be more than the shock you've just given me now.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm sorry to have to tell you, but the tongue twister I said didn't go the way you seem to have remembered it.
Huh?
It's just as famous as Swift Samurai Swords, so I can't believe you don't know it, really. It goes, red bread pan, dead bread man.
Wait. What? Bed red, but,
It seems I've knocked some wind out of that headband of yours.
It's not too late, Private. You can always start wearing a red bread pan on your head instead.
Your youthful vigor is manifest, young man. Your cheeks are glowing redder than your hachimaki.
Ah! Why do so many words have to be so similar?
So, looking forward to Great Britain then? Where you'll have to deliver speeches in court in English?
I suppose I could always shell sea cells on the seashore.
Escapade 1 is Kazuma's loser fail compilation.
He's so good.
That was really... Oh, is that the end of it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's really cute. I like that. I really like how they round out like characters like Kazuma, because obviously like in the game he like is supposed to look like he just has everything, like he has all the answers and he knows what he's doing and he's really cool. And then like things like this like are able to like humble him, but in a way that's not too intrusive to his character.
Yeah, yeah.
That was really nice.
It shows us a bit more about his past with Ryunosuke.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed that a lot. How can you like not read this and be like, oh yeah, no, he's in love with him? Or are you just holding that thought in your head? That's me asking you specifically.
Oh. No, I think that's definitely... I think it's still like a, you know, they're best friends, but you can't tell, are they actually dating and best friends, or are they just... Are they just best friends and not yet dating?
Maybe it's because you've already consumed this, but I'm just like, they're in love. Take care.
Totally
Thank you so
love.
much for joining us. Okay, good. I just needed to hear you say that.
Even if they may not know that yet.
6 January, 6:23 p.m. SS Burya, first class cabin, number 1. Wait, is this supposed to be when Ryunosuke sneaks into the cabin and then he hides in the... I'll just let it play.
I guess you'll have to find out. It's almost 2 weeks now since we left Japan. I can't believe how quickly time has gone. So, our next port of call will be Shanghai. Who's there? Who could it be at this hour?
A detective.
Detective? Who?
A great detective.
I'm not interested in buying any seashells. I don't get it. What's a great detective?
If you would just be so kind as to open the door.
Oh, yes. Sorry, of course.
Is this one entirely in Kazuma's point of view?
I think so.
That's cool. I like that.
Is something wrong, detective? Are you investigating a case?
Wherever a great detective goes,
great cases occur. Indeed, I am the root of all evil.
Sorry. Then I don't think I want you in my cabin.
Under our very noses on this steamship, a terrible theft has just occurred.
What?
You noticed, I presume, the brief power failure a short while ago?
Oh. Yes, the power couldn't have been out for more than 10 minutes, though.
Indeed. Yet that was ample time for this wicked crime to be perpetrated. Oh my god.
I see. Well, clearly it's a case that needs investigating.
Oh, precisely. The culprit ran away in this direction, down the first-class cabin passageway here.
Really? The thief came this way.
I'm quite sure of it. It may have escaped the attention of the dim-witted crew, but not of the great detective. To that end, I would be obliged if you would allow me to investigate here in this cabin.
Well...
How curious. Is there some reason why it would inconvenience you to have your cabin searched?
Inconvenience me? Well, I'd be lying if I said no. After all, there's a stowaway in that wardrobe right over there.
It's just... Oh.
It's just me in here, you see. No one else.
He suddenly becomes British.
So you might perhaps want to focus your attention on one of the other first-class cabins.
As it happens, you are the only first-class passenger at present. The other cabins are vacant.
Oh.
Did that rather tragic rumbling of the stomach arise from within you, my good fellow?
Of course. As I said, I'm the only person here. It's not long until dinner time now, so perhaps we could do this afterwards.
Oh, I do apologize, sir, but it is of the first importance that the investigation is not delayed. Now, if you'll excuse me...
Wait! Where did he go? How did he suddenly move all the way over there?
Yes, without a doubt. If the culprit were to be hiding in this cabin, it would have to be inside this wardrobe. I shall need to examine this wardrobe thoroughly. I presume you have no objection.
I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to decline. Really, you won't find any...
Did those two rather tragic sneezes arise from your good self?
Of course they did. As I said, I'm the only person here.
You have a curious knack of talking while sneezing, then. Twice, no less.
This is going to be a tough one to argue.
I was watching you quite intently, sir, and I assure you I saw no signs of a sneeze.
Couldn't Ryunosuke have held his nose?
As I was saying, I shall need to examine this wardrobe.
We've had it now, then. The game's up.
Nobody hiding in there, it seems.
What?
You seem surprised.
No, not at all. Yes, I am. He was in there for sure. I shut the doors on him myself. More visitors? Who's this now?
Oh, is this Hosonaga?
Oh, excusing me.
Oh, Seaman Stroganoff.
Sorry for disturbing, but crime has been committed on board ship.
Yes, I heard. A terrible theft, apparently.
How do you know this?
Ah, well, the detective here just informed me, you see.
Detective.
Yes, I assumed you must have asked him to investigate. Detective, could you... where did he go?
I must ask you to cooperate with investigation into this crime. Fully.
Uh-oh. He's glaring at the wardrobe already.
Well done. You found me.
What are you doing hiding in my wardrobe?
My good man, I was merely assessing the practicality of concealment in such a place. And I would say that, at a push, a human could survive up to 5 minutes in that cramped space.
Ryunosuke's in there for a fortnight. Is he not human?
Who are you? Oh, shh. This is a moment of truth. The great detective is about to unveil the sordid details of this wretched crime.
You mean to say...
Yes, there can be no doubt that the culprit of this terrible theft did indeed conceal himself within this wardrobe. What?
But that's impossible. He couldn't have done. Because my best friend was in there the entire time. Or at least, I thought he was.
Boyfriend. How can you be sure of this? Elementary, my dear fellow. The criminal left behind the most revealing evidence. How else could you explain these 3 bones? Oh!
What the... He's right. Look at those gnawed bones in there. And 3 of them.
Oh, alrighty. Thank you so much for the care package, Frostgrave. Let's go ahead and give ourselves a nice little stretchy. Let's go ahead and stand up off our seats. We're gonna go ahead and twist our bodies to the left,
To the left.
to the right.
To the right.
Stretch our arms straight up to the sky.
To the sky.
Roll out that right shoulder. Roll out that left shoulder. Very slowly, very gently. Oh my god, I cracked my neck like really good. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Go ahead and take a drink of your water. Thank you so much for the care package, Frostgrave. Yeah, by the end of this, okay, you can call them out, and then like maybe in about 2 or so, try doing it yourself and see if you can do the call out, or if you can do the actual stretch.
You got it, Chief.
Well, thank you. The criminal has escaped this time, but I will find him and crush him.
Could I ask you something, Detective?
Oh, yes, of course. I'm always delighted to answer an inquiring mind.
In this terrible theft, what exactly was stolen?
What else but some steaks of the rib bone?
Huh? Did you say steaks on the rib bone?
For this evening's dinner, 3 rib steaks were stolen from ship's kitchen only a short time ago. There was malfunction with generator and ship was without lights for 10 minutes. Chef who saw criminal said he ran away down first class passageway.
Wait, why is he? I'm giving him. I'm like doing British Russian.
And now I am on his tail. I'm afraid to say, dear fellow, that your man is no longer in this cabin. But oh. Through the cabin door, no less. Having devoured his haul on this wardrobe, the culprit discarded the bones and concealed himself behind the cabin door as you came inside. Then, when attention was turned to the wardrobe, he seized his chance to escape through the open door. What? Make haste, my good man. After the culprit. I shall follow presently.
Hold it!
Ooh. Something troubles you, sir? I think maybe criminal is not running away at all.
What are you suggesting?
Now I know where the dog is buried. Mr. Osogi.
Me?
Ah! Then I think you are culprit. Everything is falling into places.
Uh,
The criminal that disappeared in first class passageway. The bones in the wardrobe. All clues are pointing their fingers at you.
don't be ridiculous. I would never.
Oh, yes, of course. I established at once that you cannot be the perpetrator of this crime.
You did.
Why? How are you so sure? My dear fellow, there are but two things in this world on which one can rely on with total certainty. What two things? The first is the word of a great detective, and the second. The second is the tragic rumbling of an empty belly.
Not again.
When I first entered this cabin, there did arise from this gentleman a belly rumbling so odiously tragic that it confirmed beyond all doubt that the man had not eaten a single rib steak in some time, let alone 3. Good sound effects.
Why do I have to suffer this humiliation when I've done nothing wrong?
Curses! I will catch this thief. It cannot have gone far.
Oh, indeed. Assuming he decided against a post-meal constitutional swim. Well, if you will excuse me now, my apologies for upsetting your evening. Toodaloo, lover boy.
Detective? One moment, please. What'd you just call me?
Oh, well, I said lover boy. Yes?
That was a most remarkable deduction. Perhaps you'll be kind enough to tell me your name.
Ah, it quite slipped my mind. You have been talking with the one and only Herlock Sholmes.
Yeah.
I didn't have a sound effect to use, I just picked the first thing.
I see. Well, I'm Kazuma, a Sogi. I'm a student on my way to Great Britain.
Oh, pleased to make your acquaintance, Mr. Asogi. Oh, and before I forget,
Yes?
I feel I should warn you. Sneaking your boyfriend on is strictly forbidden on this vessel. So you would do well to conceal your boyfriend currently lying low under your bed as carefully as possible.
Oh. Under the bed.
I bid you farewell then, Mr. Asogi. And Mr. Asogi.
He's uncovered our secret. He knows we're dating.
Oh, Larry, thank you so much for following and joining the constellations. Welcome in.
Suppose I should have expected nothing less of a great detective. Now then, when did you move in under the bed?
Oh my god, I never get to see him!
I thought we'd had it when he opened the wardrobe door.
Well, it was thanks to that split-second chance you engineered. Wait, okay, off topic, in the Miles Edgeworth games, do you get to see Phoenix, right? Like, because it's first person as Edgeworth, and then you see Phoenix on the screen, or does he not show up in those games?
He makes a very brief cameo.
Oh! So he's not, like, actually, like, the person that you're up against in those games?
No.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Then I what?
You distracted him for a moment, remember? When you suggested that he investigate the other cabins instead?
Oh, yes. He turned to look towards the corridor, didn't he?
Well, I couldn't see what he was doing, of course. But I thought to myself, it's now or never. And the next thing I knew, I was under the bed.
You really know how to give me a scare, don't you? Anyway.
I'm trying to, like, find a second where the window hides for a bit.
What's all this about the rib steaks, eh?
Sorry about that. I've just been so hungry. Ever since we left Japan, stuck in that tiny wardrobe. Well, you should know. You've been splitting all your meals with me. You must be starving too, surely.
That's not exactly how I thought our first date would go. Right on cue.
And there was that power cut before, wasn't there? For about 10 minutes. Oh, you must be new here, don't worry. Get used to the photo barrage.
So it was then.
I caught a whiff of the most delicious smell. And I thought to myself, it's now or never. The next thing I knew, I had the steak in my hands.
This man just can't help getting himself into trouble. I guess you could say it was a big mistake. Thank you. I'll be here all night. Well, alright, you were hungry. But 3 steaks? Thanks to you, 3 crewmen are going to go without tonight, I imagine.
Oh, wait. No, it was just the one. Hold on, did I get it? Oh, I did! I got it!
You did.
Okay, good.
What?
I only took 1 rib steak from the kitchen, that's all.
But I don't understand.
Hey, I'm not that selfish. If I'd stolen 3 steaks, I'd at least have tossed one your way.
I'm not your pet dog. I'm your boyfriend.
Now you're taking the lines from me.
Well, in that case, who stole the other 2?
Do you think? Could there be a ghost on board? Schmeat-loving ghost?
There could only have been a single bone in that wardrobe when Ryunosuke moved to hide under the bed. Which means that the other 2 bones could only have been put there by one very flesh and blood person.
Oof me, thank you so much for following and joining the constellations. Welcome in. Oh, we switched POVs. What's so funny? We're on a haunted Ghost ship!
A great detective or a great mischief maker?
Whose POV is this now?
Either way, I think I'd like to spend a little more time getting to know that man. Sorry, Ryunosuke.
No!
The great Airlock Sholmes.
No, not Herlock cucking them, no! Get out! Herlock's the sloppy seconds because Kazuma's gone. I really enjoy these. These are so much fun.
Right?
Oh no, so this one's after. Okay, so he's gone now. No.
Yeah.
Oh, Kazuma. I'm really happy that we get to see him again, though, just because, like, you know,
Right?
obviously he shows up in like the flashbacks and stuff, but getting to experience these. Okay, I guess we're now in Britain.
Britain.
Kazuma's gonna cheat? Not on my watch. You know what? I'll take 1 hour with the boyfriends. That's good enough for me. 26th February, 9:17 a.m. British Supreme Court, Lord Chief Justice's office. Oh boy. Here we are again.
Every time we visit here, the atmosphere in this place seems to get more and more overbearing.
Just think, we could be at home with Mr. Sholmes and Iris having a nice, cozy breakfast.
But we have a duty to report the outcome of the case, especially since we're guests here in Britain. So I'm afraid this visit couldn't have been avoided.
I suppose not. But is there even anyone here? You could hear a pin drop in this place. It's too solemn for its own good.
It is very quiet, isn't it? The only sound is the ticking of the great clock, as it keeps perfect time.
Tick tock. Tick tock. Tick tock. Tick tock. Tick tock memes. Tick tock. Tick tock dance. Pitter patter. Pitter patter.
What was that, I wonder? The usual comforting sound of the clock seems to have been joined by a less comforting shuffling sound today.
TikTok, viral TikTok, TikTok meme. You're right. Something's disturbing the rhythmical ticking. It sounds like a rather unfit middle-aged man running from pillar to post, clumsily. Oh, do you want to take Gregson?
Sure. Or are you calling unfit?
Oh, Inspector Gregson! What are you doing here?
Or what am I? Isn't it flaming obvious?
That's actually a really fitting voice for Gregson, in my opinion.
You think?
Yeah. Oh, here, I'll use the voice
you're
mod
here
for this.
too.
58 seconds remaining, Inspector.
We'll have to talk later, sunshine.
Yeah, no, I think that's a pretty fitting voice for Gregson.
Good morning, Lord Strongheart.
Oh, wow. He's really looking fiercely at his pocket watch today.
And good morning to you. Business so early in the day.
Yes. Well, it's about the other day.
We are to deliver our report, Lord Strongheart, as our dealings with Mr. Natsume are now over.
Oh, this is after Natsume's case?
Yes.
Oh, wow, that's a big jump.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, the little Japanese man. I've already cast my eyes over Van Zykes' report. I must say the outcome surprised me. I thank you for a job well done.
You are too kind, my lord. It's not here. It's not there. And it's not over there either.
I hope you don't mind me asking, but what exactly is the inspector doing? He's been harrying around between the bookshelves, looking beside himself with worry.
He's looking for a particular work, The Lion's Pride.
Now there's an all too familiar title.
I heard it was a popular tale, so I obtained a copy from the rental library. However, it wasn't able to maintain my interest, so I soon cast it aside. I happened to notice a vacant spot on one of my shelves at the time, so I duly stowed the book there. Unfortunately, I no longer remember where that was.
Nope. Not there. Not here either. Come on, where are you lions hiding?
The book is due back today, so I've asked Gregson to locate it for me with his investigative prowess. Inside 5 minutes.
Let's say I've never seen anyone working so hard to find something. He's like a man possessed.
Oh, yes. That's because his month's salary is staked upon the outcome.
At whose instigation? Let me guess, this stony-faced lord. And the 5-minute time limit, what's the significance of that?
There is none. Just my vulgar, mischievous spirit showing itself, I'm afraid.
Oh, by your own admission. Oh, I can't. My feet are killing me.
5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up, Inspector.
Ah!
Which means the next month you will work unpaid and have no days off. Oh!
Oh my god!
No days off.
I was really surprised because I thought he was going to be like the big bad of Case 5, but no, he was kind of just like a side character that was just like there. But like, I still kind of like this case. He's funny, but I can't really tell what his intentions are. I feel like he's
Right.
gonna show up again in the second game. I'll just have to see. But I was
That
just
mischievous spirit of his, you know.
yeah. If he's just like a funny guy that just looks serious and that's like oh hee hee ha ha. Maybe it's because I'm also giving him the scary voice mod that I'm like oh he's evil.
Someone's got to cut the detective's pay
That's true.
in every game.
Oh, you're right. Honestly, I keep on forgetting that Gregson's supposed to be Gumshoe because he's just not hot.
Hey, those fish and chips look pretty hot.
Oh, the fish and chips are, you know, the real husbando there, but like, you know, Gumshoe's just like an AA plus SSS's S tier husbando, you know? There really are just so many books here. It's overwhelming.
Or some, perhaps. I've purchased every book, new or old, on the subject of lore from all over the globe.
Wouldn't have believed in a few short decades ago, a place like this couldn't have existed. What do you mean, Inspector? When I was a lad, no one ever dreamed of buying books.
Oh, I see. Western books are such luxury items, I suppose, with their leather covers and fancy bindings.
Nope, that's not it.
Gregson gone dirty with having no chin?
Yeah, to call him out like that. Oh,
I think it's more just the fact that, you know, Gumshoe's just like this giant beefcake.
there was a tax on paper, you see.
On paper?
Yeah, I mean, it was abolished about 30 years back now, but it used to be the case. There was a tax levied on any kind of paper. So obviously, that meant most folk couldn't afford to buy any books at all, and my fish and chips weren't wrapped in paper. Ah, so that is why places like the rental library you mentioned before came into existence, Lord Strongheart.
I don't know why I was spacing out for a second, and for some reason my eyes like dyslexia at Strongheart, and I thought it said Lord Spaghetti.
Lord Spaghetti.
That is Lord Fettuccine Alfredo to you. Indeed, vestiges of the paper tax system, you could say. The general public consider books as items for hire. London is home to a vast lending library of some 3.5 million books.
You couldn't hope to read all of that, even if you were reincarnated 10,000 times.
Even if I would choose to rent a book rather than to purchase it, if I knew I would read it infrequently. The subject.
Oh, Rinosuke, okay.
Ryunosuke, your voice got so deep.
The subject of tax has actually surprised us already in the last few days. It came up in Mr. Natsume's trial. It seems that the window in his room was filled in due to some kind of window tax.
That would be true. Fortunately, the window tax was abolished some 40 years ago. Sadly, in the East End in particular, many windowless houses remain.
Britain's always had a bit of a thing for tax and stuff. Whatever they can tax, they tax. Sugar, salt, tea, coffee, fish and chips, you name it, candles, beards.
Wait, sorry? What was that last one? Did you say beards?
Yep. The beard tax. Never heard of it.
Never! Why should people have to pay money just because they let their facial hair grow?
You may well ask. I suppose it's because it makes them look self-important.
Ugh. The Naruhodos will have a strict family policy of no facial hair, I think.
You can relax. The beard tax was confined to the annals of history long ago.
Even so, it's clearly something the British really love. Paying taxes, I mean.
Oh boy, I love paying taxes.
Oh boy.
Paying them? You got that back to front, sunshine.
But you can't deny you've had a lot of funny taxes over the years. You'd never find anything like that in Japan. Would you, Miss Susato? Honestly, taxes are kind of insane where I'm at. In LA, like, taxes can be like up to 10% sometimes.
In actual fact, I'm afraid to say that you would, Mr. Naruhodo.
What? No, you don't mean... Surely there's never been a window tax in Japan?
No, but there have been similarly obscure taxes. For example, in the Edo period, there was a frontage tax.
What was that?
It was a tax not on windows, but on the entrance to properties. The larger a property's entrance was, the greater the tax that was levied on it. Even today, some mansions survive with extremely narrow entrances due to that old form of taxation.
I had no idea.
Oh, so you Japanese are twisted as us Brits.
But we never had a beard tax. I mean, that's really going a step too far.
Well, no, that's true. I'm not aware of any taxes for beards, at least.
What do you mean, at least?
Well, rather than tax them, the shogunate did once prohibit them outright.
The ruling class prohibited beards?
It was called the Great Beard Prohibition. It was an Edo period edict.
But why did the powers that be want to ban beards?
Because it makes people look self-important? Just an idea. It would seem that rulers in the East and the West have very similar ideas over the years. There have been other unusual taxes in our history, even in our current Meiji period.
There have?
For example, those before either of us were born, there was a rabbit tax.
Oh, there was a tax on those adorable fluffy creatures? Like the one that makes mochi sweets on the moon?
Yes, and it was extremely large tax too. The government demanded extraordinary sums of money.
This just gets stranger and stranger. What was the reason for that bizarre tax then?
Well, after Japan opened its doors to the world, there was an unprecedented rabbit boom in the Meiji capital.
A boom?
Yes, keeping rabbits became hugely popular, and new species were traded at exorbitant prices. People were even swindled out of all their money for exotically colored rabbits.
Like colored chicks, I suppose.
Hard to imagine, though. Rabbits are so timid and quiet. Wouldn't have thought one could bankrupt you.
I'm sorry, your Gregson's just so good.
So in response to this worrying social vogue, the government imposed a rabbit tax.
I suppose they couldn't just ignore the problem.
And it worked, because the rabbit boom came to an abrupt end. 6 years later, the tax was abolished.
Well, I hate to say it about my own country, but Japan is strange.
Yes, have you seen their Fanta commercials? But
Wait,
there's
what?
more.
I haven't.
After-
No.
Really?
I only know the long man.
The man is the best one, so
Yeah. I
can't
don't
top
know-
that one.
Wait, what? I have to. What? I'll have a tab for this later. Wait, Japan Fanta commercials?
The Fanta commercials are also amazing.
Wait, give me a small gist about what they are.
It's like usually there's like a classroom of kids, and then every day they get a new teacher, and the new teacher has some really weird quirk that has something to do with Fanta or the flavor of Fanta or something like that.
What?
Or at the end they would be like, "Oh, I'm glad I can at least drink my Fanta" or whatever like that.
What the heck?
It's really weird.
I have to check that out after this then. Oh
Like
my god.
they would have like Mr. Karate or like Mrs. Soap Opera or something like that, and they'd have like really weird teachers.
Oh my god.
Society reacted by launching straight into a second rabbit boom.
Oh dear. The government didn't think that one through, did they?
Your ideas about the world are very much altered by the position you hold in society. If you are responsible for the running of the country, you will feel the need to raise revenue keenly.
Without a stable taxation system, the whole country will go down the drain.
Well, yes, I suppose so. But some of these taxes...
That's precisely why ministers of state use their wiles to invent new and novel ways of taxing the public.
Novel ways?
Tell me, Mr. Naruhodo, if you were one of my country's statesmen,
Me? British statesman?
yes, what novel tax would you impose? Pray, give us something truly original. Inside 5 seconds.
What? Oh,
Think of something that everyone uses, Mr. Naruhodo, and really squeeze every penny out of the population, like Twitch ads.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the ads for, actually, I don't know what Twitch ads I've been getting recently. But I always get the ones of like that one streamer girl. Oh, I've seen like a pizza one.
Oh yeah, I always see the car ones.
Maybe my FBI agent isn't just giving me the things that I need just yet. That's quite the intense stare. I'm very glad Susato-san isn't in charge.
Your time is up. So, what is your answer?
Air, maybe? Yes! How about air?
An air tax, you say?
Oh, well done, Mr. Naruhodo. A truly novel and fiendish idea.
Everyone has to breathe, so while the population is inhaling air, my dirty capitalist is inhaling shmoney.
Blimey, You're a tyrant at heart, eh?
A somewhat radical solution to a country's revenue problems, but sadly not an original one.
No! You mean to say...
Clearly not. You mean a tax on air has been imposed in the past?
It was last century. The finance minister of our neighbor France proposed it.
What? If I ever go for a visit, I'm holding my breath.
Unsurprisingly, it was strongly opposed by the public and soon scrapped. The minister didn't last long either.
What do you mean the people didn't like being taxed on air? Oh dear, although clearly that would have been an untenable solution.
The public at large are a force to be reckoned with.
Don't I know it? How about you, Inspector? What new tax would you impose? Let me see. My first thought is a tax on objections.
No! Sorry?
Been hearing far too many of them recently in court. There's a particular lawyer I have in mind as it happens. So I think an objection tax could be very handy.
Good to see you don't allow your personal feuds to influence your work in public office.
I reckon 5 pence for every objection raised would be about right.
A most amusing proposal, Gregson.
A most unamusing proposal, my lord.
Well then, I think it's your turn now.
Sorry, my turn for what?
Why, what else? To locate my missing copy of the Lion's Pride.
This is like the longest cutscene we've ever had him in, because he's always like, oh, I need like 3 minutes and then I go, blah, 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 blah. Oh.
It's on one of the shelves in this room. Of that I am certain. Now I shall give you 10 minutes. And let's stake your student stipend on it, Fail to find the book and you forfeit next month's payment.
Objection!
Your time starts now. Oh, and one more thing. I believe you just said the word objection. Kindly leave your 5 pence over there before you begin combing the shelves.
This tax is gonna be the death of me.
And thus we went hungry for the next month.
Oh no! A whole side episode just on taxes?
Weird, huh?
I know. That means
we learned something today. Huh?
What did I learn?
We learned about beard taxes.
Okay, I was gonna say, so there's no side story with Natsume, but okay, at least it looks like there's one.
Yeah, there's at least one.
Okay, so they're out of order then. It looks like, or
I think they're either out of order or like a lot of them take place between case 4 and 5.
okay.
Because if I recall correctly, like case 3 and 4 take place like almost back to back, right?
Yeah.
So maybe they couldn't fit anything in there.
I was gonna say, because I think Natsume is my favorite side character. I really enjoyed him.
He's great.
Well, actually, I was gonna ask you after the second one, what case was your favorite from the first game? Because
Ooh, that's a good question.
I can't really choose because I love the first one because I obviously love, just establishing the relationship between Ryunosuke and Kazuma. But I also actually really like the second one just because it was so different from a typical like Ace Attorney court case.
This game, or both games in particular, really break the mold for the formula of Ace Attorney. Because
Yeah.
as you play the other games, you'll find they all recycle the same plot points, the same
Gameplay.
pacing, the same like main events.
Yeah.
These two break so many rules, which is great because it keeps you guessing, right?
No, that's what I really, really enjoyed about this one because like
Exactly.
I don't know because I also really, really love the Natsume case. I think the only one I really didn't like was the McGilded one, and that's just because I don't like
McGilded one?
McGilded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think like I'm certain I'm not the only person that when going through the second case, you were thinking to yourself, right? Okay, this is the investigation. When's the trial?
Yeah,
We're getting to the trial.
exactly.
Man, this case is getting long. We still haven't gotten to the trial part. Wow, this is really long. We're still not even in the courtroom. And then it's like, oh,
No,
There
that's
you
what
go.
I really enjoyed it. And then it was also the first to introduce like the Sholmes like deduction thing. Like it was just
yeah.
because you know my only experience was the first Phoenix Wright game. So like the first
Yeah, exactly.
the first case was like, you know, like, oh, it's gonna be the first case in a Phoenix Wright game. And so then like I was just so surprised at how unique the second one was.
And I think I like, of the first 5, I think I have to pick number 4 as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Like it's the first one that combines both the investigation and the trial.
Yeah.
There's a lot of wacky side characters in that one.
Yeah.
And like what makes it different from most Ace Attorneys too is that no one actually dies in it.
That's
which
the
is
other thing. Yeah.
kind of new, right? And it was an accident, right? Which is also new. So it breaks a lot of new ground.
Yeah, I really, really enjoyed. Oh God, I really wish I could just like memory wipe my experience with this game and just play it
Right?
for. Oh.
If I could wipe my memory and just re-enjoy my favorite games again, man, that'd be great. I would live in bliss forever.
You know what? I'm scared. I'm really scared because I know I'm gonna like the Great Ace Attorney more just because of how unique they are. But I really, really, really like Phoenix, so like I'm just so scared that I'm gonna lose.
Move
that.
over, Phoenix. Your ancestors in the room.
I really like Ryunosuke, but like, oh God. Oh, either way, but yeah, no, I wanted to ask your opinion on that because like I thought like this was such a unique experience and I really liked it.
I think we'll have a very interesting talk once you finish Great Ace Attorney 2.
Oh God, I feel like for the last case or something, I'm gonna need to have you there. I need emotional support.
I'm here if you need me.
Oh, don't you might have to commit yourself to 7 streams if that's the case.
Oh, I am in for it.
Ooh, I'm gonna.
I was helping my friend we were doing weekly Great Ace Attorney streams on his channel too for a while, which is fun.
Oh boy, oh God, I love Ace Attorney so much.
Don't let it ever end.
But
But also, you gotta finish it, so we go. So let it end.
I need to talk about it. I need to talk about it so much. Shitakumi read the Wikipedia page for obscure taxes in history one night and thought, yes, this will be great for the Great Ace Attorney. Shows the Sholmes Suite. Ooh. All right, I'm gonna go out of a limb and I'm gonna have you play Iris.
Okay,
Just for the hell of it.
you do a really good Sholmes.
Oh, do I?
I think
you.
so.
Thank you. 9th March, 8:23 a.m. Sholmes' Suite.
Good morning, Iris. Good morning, Mr. Sholmes. Oh, morning, Susie. I'll get breakfast on the table for us all.
Damn it, I thought you were gonna kill your throat. Mr. Sholmes. Morning. Oh, come now. Why the long face? Oh, sorry. The thing is, I just had a rather strange envelope posted under my door this morning with some rather strange things inside.
What strange things?
Oh, you know, they were digital messages from someone named Kieran Young saying, I love you, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, please marry me.
Oh, we should burn them.
No, don't burn them!
Oh, what was it, Runo? Do I catch a scent of a mystery in the air?
I also love that nickname, Runo. That's so cute.
It's so good.
Nothing so exciting, I'm afraid, Iris. It was just 5 orange pips. I can't imagine what it could possibly.
What? Oh, orange pips, Mr. Naruhodo, and 5 of them?
Actually, before we go on, I do want to ask everyone in the chat, who is everyone's favorite character from the Great Ace Attorney? Obviously, please let me know only characters from Great Ace Attorney 1, because I haven't played 2 yet. But if it isn't obvious, like, obviously, I really love Ryunosuke. What about you, Kira?
Kazuma. Definitely Kazuma.
Oh, man. After that cliffhanger we got left on at the end of 1, I got it. Something, I have a suspicion. What's the matter with you? That's a bit of an overreaction, isn't it?
An overreaction? Mr. Naruhodo, you don't understand. It's a warning. A notice of imminent danger. To your life.
What? To my life? What's the meaning of this, Mr. Sholmes?
My dear fellow, why do you make such an inquiry of me?
Because the name of the sender was written on the envelope, and it was yours!
Oh. You're right, Runo. It says, sent by Sholmes, envoy of hell.
So my little ploy has been exposed. Well, so be it. Cast your mind back, if you will, Mr. Naruhodo, to the time of our dining last night.
Oh, yes. Miss Susato cooked Japanese food for all of us.
Indeed. In particular, you may recall the final norimaki sushi roll I was about to savor.
Oh, I have a question for you. Okay, because playing through 1, I really didn't like Van Zykes, and I didn't see why so many people like him. Obviously, he's gonna show up in the second game again. Like, is he gonna like have redeeming moments, or like you don't have to obviously explain, but like,
You're gonna see a lot more of him in the second game.
okay, just because like I really didn't like I don't know, like but like he just did not rub me the right way in the first game.
I think that's what he's supposed to do, though, right?
Oh, to like set up
Because
that
he's still a little bit like of an enigma to us right now. And also keep in mind, like he was absent for the first 2 episodes, right? So
yeah.
he didn't have as much time to develop.
Okay. Yeah, maybe I'm just biased because I'm like, I liked Edgeworth out of the gate, and I don't like this man.
Yeah, he definitely goes under. He will probably grow on you at least a little bit.
Okay, you know what?
And his name is usually actually pronounced Van Zeeks.
Van Zeeks.
Yeah, in the Japanese one they call him Banjikshu or something like that.
Oh, okay. I'll have to write a mental note on that. Thank you for clarifying that. Van Zeeks is more of a slow burn. Oh, God, okay, fine. Watch, like, at the end of this, I'm going to be like, oh my God, Van Zeeks is my husbando. I love him so much.
I mean, it's a very Ace Attorney thing, right? For prosecutor enters, you don't like them, and then suddenly something happens, and you find out more about them.
I don't remember my experience with Edgeworth, but I feel like I ended up really liking Edgeworth, like, pretty easily compared to Van Zeeks.
That's because they wrap it up in one. Well, they do his character development in one game.
Yeah.
Because he changes by the end of Rise from the Ashes.
Yeah.
Right. Or
Okay.
actually, even before that, Turnabout Memories or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? You're right. It's just having freaking Christmas Eve in the first game already just seals the deal for him.
Yeah, and like, because again, Great Ace Attorney breaks so much ground in that it carries over plot lines between the 2 games, as well as like plot points and characters. Because the other games are all standalone.
Oh,
so
for the
they
Phoenix
don't,
Wright ones?
Yeah, so they might reference things, but the plots of them almost never interact with each other at all.
Wait, so they don't even reference like the I forget the number, but the U5 incident with Edgeworth or anything like that in the future games?
They might allude to it, but it never really has like a big impact.
Oh, so because it's supposed to be like, oh, so you can jump
Because
into
it's
any
supposed to
game?
be like, oh, I guess you have to play that game to find out, right? Like even characters that appear in one game might never get referenced again unless they're a recurring character, or like even big events. Sometimes, or like characters might even be completely missing and they won't ever address it.
Oh,
It's
really?
just like, well, yeah, because it's just like, oh, well, they're just not in this game, so we just don't talk about them, right? Or we might like
Interesting.
reference them in like an odd, obscure dialogue if you examine one item in like a side room or something like that.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's why one of the reasons why I like these games is because it's actually like a continuing plot.
Yeah.
And because all the other ones are like, you might be like playing one game and you'll be like, wait, but didn't that incident from the other game, shouldn't that affect this one? And you're like, but it's like a closed vacuum, so it doesn't. Right?
Oh, okay, yeah. That was something that I was curious about. Also,
Yeah.
don't apologize, Outlux. Yeah, no, I asked you guys because I wanted to know why you guys liked Van Zeeks because, like, the entire time I was like, I don't like him. I don't like how he's treating us. I do not like him. So I was curious to see, like, you know, if there's something that happens in the second game because obviously, like, the way that this game is built on, it looks like, you know, you really shouldn't play 2 unless you play 1, at least for Great Ace Attorney.
Yes.
So I was under the assumption, like, okay, that something's gonna happen in 2 that, like, you know, you just
I think it's a great move that they localize both at the same time and in one packaged bundle.
yeah,
Instead
for
of doing
sure.
them as 2 separate games. Because of course, I mean, in Japan they came out like 2 years apart or something like that. So
Yeah.
like people were like on their edge waiting for it, right? And if they release the first game here but not the second game, of course people are going to look up spoilers and come across that stuff. So,
Exactly. I'm so happy that first of all, I'm just happy that this game even got localized, but
right?
oh god, I love this. I need to talk about this so much. Okay.
That is, before you swooped in with your clacking chopsticks and filched it from under my nose.
Oh, I assumed because you left it that you didn't want it.
Oh, I left it, my dear fellow, because I had planned to enjoy it at my very last mouthful. Surely you must have noted my intent by the subtle dilation in my right pupil.
Perhaps a clearer sign would be helpful next time. Just an idea.
I totally feel that from Sholmes. I'm the person that like I'll save some of my favorite things on the plate for last, or like my favorite candies in the bag or whatever for last, and then someone would come up to me and be like, "Hey, can I have one?" And I'd be like, "But I saved all of my favorites for the last one." But
Yeah, I'm the kind
Yeah,
of
I
person
guess.
where, like, if like we're eating like a meal, I'll eat like the fries first because I want to save like the burger for like, you know, the final thing. So I guess, yeah, I can kind of see it.
that's where you have to learn the art of defensive eating.
And Zeeks looks like a Final Fantasy villain lovingly. I don't think that's an offensive way to like describe a character.
In summary, the post you received earlier is a notice of impending revenge. You should be quaking in your boots.
Really? Because I went straight out into the garden and planted them. I'm hopeful we may have grown some exotic fruit.
There's no point sending a notice of impending revenge if the person you send it to doesn't know what it is. Well, I knew, of course, because I've read this book. The Adventures of Herlock Sholmes. On sale now in all major London bookshops and receiving rave reviews.
As well as the new Nintendo 3DS until the eShop closes. Oh, yes, of course. It's finally been published, hasn't it? I hear it's selling very well.
It is! 12 short stories in one volume. I've earned a lifetime's spending money already.
And it has further bolstered my name. In fact, only the other day, Bohemian King sought to engage my services.
Really? That's extraordinary.
Of course, the gentleman persisted with some pretense about being a fishmonger for the duration. But only a fool would presume to be able to deceive my eyes with such a charade.
So, how did you know that he was a king then?
Why, there's no mystery, my dear fellow. A distinct smell of fish accompanied by the man's lowly apparel. And though he tried to hide it, the left side of his moustache quivered in a quite manifest manner.
Oh, Mr. Sholmes, that's simply brilliant.
Having neatly resolved the case for the man, I was sent a quantity of fresh cod as a mark of his appreciation.
I think perhaps you shouldn't discount the possibility that he actually was a fishmonger.
Is that... Can anyone else smell burning?
Oh, yes, you're right. And look! Smoke! I think maybe...
Fire! Fire! There's a fire, everyone!
Really? A fire?
We must all leave at once. Everyone, out of the building!
No! Wait! I have to go back to my room first!
Are you deranged? If you're not asphyxiated by the smoke, the flames will burn you to death!
But my Daruma doll! I can't let my Daruma burn! It means too much! Ah! Drat! Sorry, but I'm gonna make a dash for it upstairs!
Oh, Bruno, you're so funny. Have you forgotten what happened to McGilded?
This is no time for jokes, Iris! Go quickly, get out of here!
But there's no fire. Is there, Hurley?
Huh?
Ah, what a delight to see that ploy enacted in the flesh, like Dwight from The Office. I wouldn't have dared to dream I should be so lucky.
Miss Susato?
Indeed, indeed. Indeed, it was a ploy. A devilment engineered by my Pakish spirit.
It was all a trick? But why? My Daruma doll has my secret picture of Kazuma shirtless! Wait, did they explain why he cares about the Daruma doll, or are they gonna go about that soon?
I can't remember if he says that in the Escapades or not.
Okay, I
He
guess.
might. I think
Okay.
he might say it in the Escapades.
It is a simple experiment of the mind, Mr. Naruhodo. When his life is threatened, a fellow is compelled instinctively to protect that property to which he attaches matching importance.
And after your own life, Bruno, the most important thing to you seems to be your Dharma doll.
Let's not dwell on that, shall we, Iris? So, you knew all along, Miss Susato? That it was a trick?
Yes, of course. The very ploy is described in this book. The Adventures of Herlock Sholmes. On sale now in all major London bookshops and receiving rave reviews.
Literally, the tactic would gaslight, gatekeep, girl bossing him. Not again.
I've used that device quite satisfactorily in the past to solve a case.
Oh yes, it was a great success, wasn't it? But then it became something of a habit, didn't it? You started yelling fire at every crime scene. In the end, people started to pay no attention to you at all.
Ah, yes, that's true.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. I forgot. Yeah, because the eyes weren't filled in, and then he says to Susato, "Don't fill it in until you think I fully deserve to be a lawyer." Okay, I remember now. Yes.
There was a time when I was known as the Sholmes who cried wolf.
I think there's a lesson to be learnt in there somewhere.
But sadly, my little ploy failed to yield results in this time. Iris was utterly unmoved.
Yeah, I was like, his first instinct isn't to go for the armband or the sword, but I guess he has the sword on him at all times.
What do you mean?
Well, I was anticipating that Iris would immediately expose her secret hiding place. The location of the nest egg she must have cached somewhere in this room.
Nest egg? You think Iris has some secret savings?
Why, naturally. The book is selling like hotcakes after all. It is a simple deduction indeed to conclude that the profits must be concealed here within these walls.
Oh, Mr. Sholmes, are you in need of money? Ah, I bet I know what it is. It's that new microscope that's gone on sale, isn't it, Hurley?
What else? I have such a strong desire to own one, yet my purse is £1 too light. And as a not offer of a loan that has been forthcoming, I've been forced to resort to an alternative stratagem.
Sorry, Hurley, but I'm not falling for that. I'm not coming from the Sholmes who cried wolf.
Ah, how vexing!
You really shouldn't be trying to steal a 10-year-old savings, you know? Even if she wrote fanfiction all about you and her dad.
My book is full of little tricks like that, you see? The army of the great detective.
Except that in this case, both the orange pips and the fake fire fell a little flat, didn't they?
Oh, I have plenty more tricks up my sleeve, just you watch, Mr. Naruhodo. Take, for example, the case of the Boscombe Valley Mystery.
I'm already filled with dread just from the title.
It is a tale of extraordinary skill on the part of the great detective. The skill of tracking.
Tracking?
When I arrived at the scene of the crime in the eponymous valley, there were footprints everywhere. But my eye was immediately drawn to one set in particular.
Yeah, welcome in
Mr.
everyone coming in.
Sholmes. Your detective instincts are truly remarkable.
Oh, as you know, my dear madam, no detail, no matter how small, escapes the scrutiny of these eyes. So I tracked my quarry following the trail of the footprints all the way to the man's place of residence.
It led you directly to the culprit's house? What a triumph!
Oh, you misunderstand. It led me directly to my own house, my dear fellow.
Huh?
For the footprints were, in the final analyses, those made by my own shoes.
Hurley had left here for Boscombe Valley as soon as he received the telegram about the case, you see. And then he followed his own trail straight back here to Baker Street.
Now, Iris, please. You make it sound almost humdrum, but I assure you it's no easy feat. Tracking of this nature is a skill possessed only by the great Herlock Sholmes.
You're right. It really is extraordinary.
Quite so. Extraordinary is the word, and let it be the last on the subject. Anyway, needless to say, I subsequently went on to solve the case with various other deductions.
Yes, it's the various other deductions that I'm interested in.
Ah, well, you shall have to read the books then. I'm sure Iris has penned it with her usual flourish.
Oh, absolutely. I put an ingenious spin on the great detective's exploits.
It must have been very ingenious to make this man sound even remotely credible as a detective.
Wait, is that... Does it smell like something's burning again?
We've had enough devilment for one day, Mr. Sholmes. Put your puckish spirit to bed.
Oh, I assure you, this has nothing to do with me or my spirit.
What?
Oh no, the smoke is getting thicker.
You mean you're not gaslighting me this time? There really is a...
Fire! Fire! Oh, there's a fire, everyone!
Ah!
Miss Susato! Where are you going?
Stand aside, Mr. Naruto.
Ah! Easy, Mr. Sholmes! What are you? Mr. Sholmes! Why did he chuck that bust of Napoleon on the floor? Oh! Look at that! And amongst all the broken porcelain... Coins! Sovereigns, in fact! Worth a whole pound each!
Come, everyone. We must leave at once. Evacuate the building.
You fell for it, Hurley. Hook, line, and sinker.
Ah,
Wait. You mean... Ah!
Iris!
I certainly wouldn't have guessed that's where you hidden it.
Do you mean to say that this smoke was...
My own puckish spirit needs to come out and play sometimes too, you know?
What? Oh, of course. I know what it is, Iris. It's that indoor herb garden set that went on sale last week, isn't it? That's what you're after.
I want one so desperately, but I'm £4 short. And even though you told me you didn't have any money to spare before, I knew you had a secret nest egg somewhere in this room.
You outwitted me again! You really shouldn't let yourself be outwitted by a 10-year-old child, you know.
So, thank you for the loan, Hurley. I don't understand why you need to smash the bus where you could have run out with it, but whatever. Oh, but wait.
What's the matter?
Where's Susie? She's disappeared.
Oh my god, everyone's gonna gaslight in this one! Oh, yes, that's right. She ran off up the stairs before, didn't she?
Oh! What are y'all still doing here? We have to evacuate. It won't be long before the fire is... Ah! I've been gaslit. Sorry, Susie. Children will get up to mischief once in a while, you know? But it's all perfectly harmless. Unless you're Napoleon.
Harmless, maybe, but oh, so devious. Oh my god! I love a dysfunctional family.
Oh well, at least nobody was hurt.
Apart from Napoleon and my secret hoard.
It also just it makes sense because it takes over the course of 2 games, but I was surprised that it took so long for Ryunosuke and Susato to move in with them. I thought that would have been done within like case 2. So
Right?
Yeah, no, they really, it's like a slow burn, and also they just really subvert like the expectations of like this kind of game.
Yeah.
Now tell us, Miss Susato, what is it that you went so fleet-footedly to fetch?
Sorry? Oh, no, nothing. This is just no, this is nothing. Susie, that's your notebook detailing all Runo's trials, isn't it? It's bulging at the seams.
What?
Oh, a testament to the various people you helped over the past months.
Miss Susato,
Well, I am your judicial assistant after all. I would do anything to ensure the safety of these records. Even risk my life if necessary. I mean, it's very important to me. It's like a diary of everything we've achieved together.
Oh my god, stop! I'm getting emotional. I really like
She's
Susato.
so good. She's so good.
She I obviously really like Ryunosuke and Kazuma, but like Susato is genuinely, I think, my favorite character so far in this game, the first
The
game.
best judicial assistant ever.
Yeah. So I'm like, when she was like, I don't deserve to be a judicial assistant, I was like, no, stop! Oh my god.
Look at that smile on her face.
I'm like curious. I mean, I guess I'll find out, but like, I'm gonna be sad starting up 2 and she's not there from the start. I'm getting all teary-eyed now.
Yes, in stark contrast to someone who would have fetched his Daruma doll, I must say.
You don't know the meaning behind it!
Those Kazuma photos were very difficult to obtain, I'll let you know.
I had to dig through the trenches of Twitter.com.
It's the embarrassing snapshot of Kazuma from the Christmas party.
All right, well, we're 4 out of 8. Can I go ahead and we want to take a second to go ahead and bathroom break?
Sure, good idea.
Cool, cool. And Lux, thank you so much for following and joining the constellations. Please make sure to give Kiro a follow as well. All right, well, BRB in just a bit then. All right, we're back. Cool. Episode 5. Wow, these go by so fast, but they're so fun. I really don't want them to end.
All right, episode 5. 5th March, 2:40 p.m. Naruhodo's Legal Consultancy. Hello! I'm back!
Oh, hello, Mr. Naruhodo. Did you have a good outing? Hi, Reno. What's the matter? Your eyes are as big as dinner plates.
Iris, I wasn't expecting to see you here.
I've just made some tea, Mr. Naruhodo. Would you like a cup?
A cup of two. Yes, definite tea.
Alright, Runo. What's going on? You're acting extremely strangely.
What? Me? No, not at all. I'm as normal can be. Normality itself, see? Please give me validation.
Not again, Mr. Naruhodo.
Ah!
Sorry, not what again? What do you mean, Susie? Whenever he goes out on his own lately, he always seems to come back with a peculiar new purchase.
Oh no, he's like me when I go to Target. Peculiar? Peculiar? What's peculiar about the things I've bought?
You seem to think that anything British is a curio you simply must have.
He brought a
You
pet
keep
home, I
buying
wish.
items. You keep buying items of bric-a-brac even though you don't know what they are. Well, there are rather a lot of bric-a-brac shops and pawnbrokeries and the like around here.
It's when I've been to Lord Strongheart's to give my weekly report. I'm always so nervous beforehand. On the way home, I just find myself in these shops and... Yes, all right, I can't deny it! I bought something.
You're right, you can't deny it, because your eyes are wider than ever. You really ought to put up a warning sign about them. They're bigger than some potholes around here.
It's hard to resist things in the bric-a-brac shop. It's all so cheap. Mr. Sholmes has given me lots of useful advice about how to pick up the real bargains.
You must remember, Runo, that Hurley likes to have fun with you. Take his advice with a big pinch of salt.
Well, that's true. That thing he told me was a pot stand wasn't a pot stand at all. But I'd never have guessed it was a collapsible top hat.
No, and I'd never have guessed that you could fill up this once-empty room so quickly. Honestly, it's overflowing with things we don't need now. Like the Staruma doll.
Oh, were you giving me a second? Okay, cool. Smallest Moon, thank you so much for following and joining the constellations. Welcome in. Okay.
I mean, look at those scales. Not once have you weighed something on them.
I know, but ever since I first stood at the defense's bench in court, I don't know why, but I've just really wanted my own set of scales.
Let's see it then, Mr. Naruhodo. What have you come home with today?
Oh, well, it's, one of these.
What is it? It looks all dry and shriveled up in a ball. Really, Mr. Naruhodo? What is it?
It's a sea anemone.
An anemone?
Yes, I mean, I know it doesn't look like it at the moment. It's all shriveled up, like you said.
Aren't sea anemones living creatures? The ones that dance about on the seabed?
Yes, exactly! The ones that dance about on the seabed!
You've seen The Little Mermaid, right?
I've seen Finding Nemo as well.
Oh, they sell sea anemones in bric-a-brac shops here in Britain.
I don't know whether they normally do or not, but I do know that I bought one today. He's so cute.
But why, Runo?
Well, yes, for the aquarium, of course.
Aquarium. I don't know that word.
Well, according to the shopkeeper, keeping sea creatures in tanks was hugely popular here in London before.
Oh, yes. Some people have beautiful fish in seawater tanks, it's true. Having an aquarium became popular because the old glass tax was abolished.
Oh, not the taxes again.
You like talking about taxes, right?
We did a whole case about it, of course.
There it is again, rearing its ugly head, the subject of taxation. It was a real craze for a while. Everyone in London had one. For a while? Yes, it didn't last long. People's enthusiasm soon waned. It's just far too much work to be changing the seawater regularly in a city like London. Never a truer word said, I'm sure.
You'd think people might have realized that from the start, really, wouldn't you?
Anyway, that was long before I was born. So now everyone jokes that there's an unloved aquarium covered in dust in every attic in the capital.
And it's true! There's one in this attic, too. When I told the man in the bric-a-brac shop about it, he had these words of wisdom.
That's why this is the age of the sea anemone.
And that made a lot of sense to me.
It made sense to you, did it? But Bruno, this anemone's completely dried up.
You just need to soak it in water overnight and it'll be as good as new.
That's what the man said.
I'm not sure it works in the same way as dried wakame seaweed, Mr. Naruhodo.
Once I've saved some shmoney, I'm gonna buy some prawns to keep this little fellow company.
Oh, how exciting! Your office will be teeming with life. Will it really?
I love that you can't see like any of the like white, pupils, so she just looks so like soulless. Britain is a funny country though. I mean, a sea anemone craze?
Well, they say people in glass houses about comments like that here, Mr. Naruhodo. Don't forget that there was a very curious rabbit craze in our own country not very long ago.
A mortifying chapter that people will try to erase from the history books 100 years from now, I'm sure.
You know, there was another craze as well before the aquarium one. Have you heard of Wardian cases?
Wardy... what? No, I've definitely never heard of them.
They were little glazed cases for growing plants indoors, I believe.
Oh, I see. For plant lovers to raise their favorite tropical plants.
That's right, like different types of ferns.
Ferns?
Do you mean those rather dull plants with lots of fronds for leaves? They're not dull at all. Ferns are lovely plants. I think people want to recreate the exotic foliage of the tropics in their own homes.
So they grew ferns? I mean, ferns, sea anemones. Londoners certainly have a knack for the obscure.
Well, thinking about it. My grandfather loved the moss on his bonsai. He looked after it better than the trees.
It seems like the more obscure something is, the more it interests people.
Maybe. Anyway, the Wardian case craze didn't last very long. Now, most of those little glass cases are just gathering dust, I think. But haven't I seen one in your room, Iris? Oh, very observant of you, Susie. Yes, that's right. Mine's certainly not gathering dust. I grow tropical herbs in it. Well, Mr. Naruhodo, I really must ask you to stop all this frivolous buying of strange things.
Yes, all right. Sorry. It's just that, well, think about Mr. Sholmes' room. He has all sorts of peculiar trinkets lying around.
Oh, well, yes, that's true. And they seem to be growing in number. Recently, I've noticed a blowpipe, a few barrel crystals set in a twisted piece of gold, a gold-rimmed pint's nest.
I spotted a small gramophone record in there the other day, probably from Octopath Traveler 2, so I slipped it into the gramophone. But it was just a whispering voice saying, "Yeehaw!" Norbury, and nothing more. What could it possibly be about?
Did you know that Particio invented the gramophone?
No, I didn't.
Those are all mementos of cases that Hurley solved over the years.
Exactly. That's what I want to create in here. Just that sort of atmosphere.
Ah, a room full of meaningful trinkets, each with their own unique history, you mean?
Yes, that! I knew you'd understand, Miss Susato.
But, Mr. Naruhodo, none of the things you've bought for the room have any connection with any of our cases.
No, don't they?
Well, for example, take that splendid but rather weather-beaten top hat. That wasn't used as evidence in any of the cases we worked on, was it? Oh, so you have two top hats if you count the collapsible one as well.
No, the collapsible one is a pot stand. As far as I'm concerned, anyway. It's Particio's hat! Oh my gosh. I can't believe we manifested an Octopath crossover.
Excellent.
But the other day when we were in court, they were everywhere, weren't they? Oh, they are! Top hats, I mean.
Well, here in Britain, of course, they're the mark of a true gentleman, so that's hardly surprising. If a man isn't wearing a top hat when he ventures out of doors, he'll be looked down upon. Gosh, it has very strict rules, doesn't it? English gentleman's code.
I've been wondering how I'd look in a top hat recently. After all, my university uniform is black as well, so I think it'd be very good in keeping. No, never wear it. Never, 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 never. Keep your hedgehog hair.
Oh, what a good idea! Go on then, Runo, try it on. The lesson here, I suppose, is that the juxtaposition of student and gentleman is just so strange and wrong.
Oh no! Well, I'd rather it didn't suit me anyway. I mean, these hats are ridiculous. I know, right? Show us what he looks like. I'd be willing to bet every foreigner who sees one of these for the first time thinks exactly the same thing. Why is that man wearing a chimney on his head?
People in glass houses, remember, Runo?
What do you mean?
Well, what about Japanese chonmage top knots? Those haircuts are the height of ridiculousness.
Ah, true.
At least you could take a hat off. Once you have a chonmage, it's cha on your head for good. I'd be willing to bet every foreigner who sees a chonmage for the first time thinks exactly the same thing. Why is that man wearing a cannon on his head?
Really quickly, thank you so much for stopping by. Don't worry too much about spoiler. I mean, I guess you kind of have to because they go over plot points, but we're reading the side stories right now. So we're done with the main game. But yeah, welcome in, guys.
I suppose that's what it means to have different cultures, isn't it?
On the subject of hats, The one Mr. Sholmes always wears is really very strange, don't you think?
I beg your pardon, Mr. Naruto. What a thing to say! That hat is the very essence of Mr. Sholmes. Yes, without his deerstalker, the great detective would be unrecognizable.
It's called a deerstalker? That's a surprisingly swanky name.
It's a hat of a hunter, just like the flat cap. I made up my mind long ago to visit Regent Street and buy one for myself.
I'm not sure it's going to fit over your hair.
Well, I think it's perfect for a great detective who stalks his criminal quarry. What do you think is strange about it anyway?
Well, you've seen it. It has two brims, one at the front and one at the back. Why do you need two brims on a hat? Surely one at the front is enough, no?
One moment, please.
If you ask me, it's just Mr. Sholmes' madcap personality coming through. I bet it's so that he doesn't have to think about which way to round to put it on or something like that.
Mrs. Sholmes does not have a madcap personality. He always has a clear head. Deerstalkers were made for hunters who had to hide in thickets when they were stalking their prey. The brim of the back was designed to stop the stalks of plants scratching the backs of their necks. Oh, so that's the reason. Thank you, Iris, for educating us.
Mr. Sholmes doesn't spend a lot of time in the thickets, though, does he?
Well, he does spend time in wardrobes. Well, no, that's true.
Oh, really? Me too. I'm telling you, it's just his impetuous personality. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. Firmly.
Ah, here you all are.
Oh, good afternoon, Mr. Sholmes.
I've not long since I made some tea, Mr. Sholmes. Would you like a cup?
I see I've come at a very good time, Miss Susato. Thank you. Now, I have something I should like you all to see. I've designed myself a brand new great detective's hat.
What the? There's a brim.
At the front and at the back. At both sides. 4 brims in total.
Oh my god.
Your observation is quite correct, my dear madam. I am a busy man, you see. But with this hat, whichever way I put it on, I shall always have it pointing the correct way.
Helicopter! Helicopter!
Oh,
With my previous hat, I could, in an impetuous moment, wear it erroneously with the brims on either side.
That's impressively clumsy, I would say.
and I must regretfully say, I think your madcap theory was correct after all.
But really, Mr. Sholmes, with brims on all 4 sides like that, wouldn't it just be better to wear a top hat instead?
Oh yes, then however you put it on, you'd have a brim all around.
What? Oh, so true, so true! How could I have been so blinkered to this fact until now? Well, unfortunately, I have been... Fortunately, actually, I happen to have 2 top hats here. If you just lift the pot off it, you're welcome to try that over there.
Indeed I shall, my good fellow. Much obliged.
Oh dear, Hurley, it looks terrible, more terrible than I could possibly have imagined.
Oh, that's not good. Maybe because of your long, handsome face. Paired with the tall hat, it just doesn't work.
Well, I think it's very nice, Mr. Sholmes, even if it will have the whole world in fits of laughter.
I should never have meddled with it. Oh, I look like Professor Layton. Give me a deerstalker forevermore. And give me my regulation university hat forevermore!
There's still hope that you'll graduate one day, Mr. Naruhodo. Don't give up.
I've never played the Layton games. I really want to try them someday.
This reminds me of a puzzle.
Are the Layton games available on modern, or is it only stuck on like Nintendo consoles?
I'm pretty sure they're just on Nintendo consoles. I bet there's a bunch of them on the DS store.
Okay,
I'm not sure which ones have been ported over to like the Switch and stuff.
But do you know if there's some that are ported to Switch?
I don't know actually. I kind of stopped after the third game.
Oh, okay, I see. Well, I for sure at least got to get the Ace Attorney one.
I remember there was a Layton movie too, and apparently it was like interactive. Like you use like your DVD remote to like
Oh, really?
answer puzzles or something like that.
I used to love those. That was like when the Shrek DVD had like the like little extra like mini games and stuff. I would love playing those. Ooh, I feel like you could do a really, really good Natsume.
Oh, I love doing Natsume's voice. He's so funny.
Okay, I'll leave him to you then. Yeah, right, the Shrek one, like the American Idol one. 23rd February, 6:09 p.m. Mr. Natsume's room.
So, Mr. Natsume, are you really returning home to Japan?
All right, everyone, say hi to our baby girl.
Yes, indeed I am. Everything is arranged already.
Oh, it's perfect.
We'll be sad to see you go. And after Runa worked so hard to prove your innocence as well. What a shame. It feels like it was all a wasted effort. Don't say that. I know what you're suggesting.
Now, calm down, Mr. Natsume. It's all fine, really.
We're all in good company here, sir. If you fear the Reaper, you needn't hide the fact.
I'm a proud citizen of the Empire of Japan. I'm not a scaredy cat.
Talking of cats, Mr. Sholmes just casually threw one amongst the pigeons there.
A man like me belongs to Japan, not here. That's what I come to realize.
I wonder. A mustache such as yours is eminently suited to London, I would say.
There goes Mr. Sholmes throwing another cat in.
The moment I arrived in the city, I noticed. Everyone in London laughs at me behind my back like hyenas. Hysterical hyenas howling horribly.
I miss him.
I'm sure that's not true, Mr. Natsume.
I really hope he comes back. Oh my god.
Oh, but it is. Whenever I turn around and peer down the fog-filled streets, all I see is foreigners everywhere. Well, there's you, Runo, and Susie in here, so that's 3 foreigners out of 5 people. I take your point. Only the other day I was taking a stroll through the fog as usual when a young man approached me from ahead. He was pale and gaunt, his back arched like a cat. Observing his wretchedness moved me so deeply. Oh, I thought to myself, I'm not the only one suffering in this hell. But, do you know what? Can you imagine? It was just my own reflection in a shop window.
Oh no!
A stunning, stinging, stupefying surprise!
Don't forget slap in the face.
Everyone started laughing at me. Gentlemen thereabouts, ladies passing by, even the man in the shop window!
Oh, yes. And a certain great detective would like to be included among the mirthful.
Ah!
Mr. Sholmes is really going for Soloseki-san today.
Well, I for one think you're a very handsome man, Mr. Natsume.
Me too! There, did you hear that? This 10-year-old girl thinks you're handsome. Isn't that wonderful?
Oh, that makes me feel suspiciously warm inside.
Yeah, suspicious is the word. He looks genuinely delighted.
The point is, we Japanese are humble and modest. Studying on foreign soil, surrounded by foreign people, how could anyone possibly enjoy that? No one could, it's impossible. If you're genuine Japanese. If you say so. Actually, it would appear that there is someone. A Japanese man who studied in a foreign country and seems to have thrived on the experience. There is.
Why is he posing like for the swimsuit? Sports Illustrated.
Mr. Ogai Mori. I believe he studied in Germany.
Mr. Mori, pray tell us more of the fellow.
Well, today he's a very successful author in Japan.
Oh, I've heard of him. He's the professor who wrote My Hime, isn't he?
My Hime?
I suppose in English the title would be Dancing Queen, maybe?
Oh, I see. A tale of a woman who waltzed her way through the world, perhaps. You really needn't make up a silly translation, you know. It's already officially called The Dancing Girl in English.
Oh boy, localization.
It seems Mr. Mori greatly enjoyed his time in Germany. He became close with a local lady while he was there.
That's another detail I really thought was so interesting about this game. It's just like that technically they can all speak English and that they are speaking English when they're talking with the British people.
There's actually a really great developer's diary.
Yeah, I was talking about that one. Yeah, where they talk. Yeah, because
and they talk about
Ryunosuke-
this scene was one of the hardest ones for them to localize.
Oh.
And they were talking about they were talking about like the difference between what a localization is versus a translation, right?
Yeah.
And how when you localize it and the way you have to like change the jokes so they match the context but yet still make sense to the viewer, and how tricky that is, and how they had to find out a bunch of wordplay and like research how people used to talk back then, both in Japan and England. Like it's a fascinating read if you go dig it up from the developer's diary.
Yeah, because I was telling you from an earlier stream how I found the one where they were talking about how they were trying to talk about how they would go about this, and how specifically they had in mind it was for about the casting, so that Ryunosuke was specifically supposed to be speaking British English, and then Susato could be a little bit more relaxed because she was self-studying at home.
Yeah.
But that is because when I was thinking about how I wanted to go about like voicing the characters for this playthrough, I knew that I didn't want to have everyone have a British accent because I'm not good at them, so I didn't want to like sustain that for too long. So my thinking was I'd have the Japanese characters speak with like my standard American accent, and then the British people would have the British accent. But like I just thought it was so fascinating how much care was put into like localizing this game, because I know it's such a difficult thing, especially because I know that like the Phoenix Wright ones were already like a huge thing.
Exactly. So yeah, I'm really glad that the direction they took with this one too, and the fact that they don't really like one of the difficulties with localizing this too is because you know Phoenix Wright, they localized it as if it were in America, quote unquote,
Japanifornia,
right? And then they were like wondering what to do with this game, but they decided to keep most of it intact. So
yeah, no, as far as, I mean, I don't know the original Japanese script, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty much on par with or I'd imagine it's pretty on par, you know, obviously minus like cultural references that just would not like completely like be understood by other people.
Exactly.
Does this game have a limited collection with an art book and stuff? There's the game comes with like a little gallery inside the game.
There's a Japanese collector's edition, but there's no English collector's edition.
Oh god, I think maybe next time I go to Japan I might just try searching for it.
Yeah, one of my friends found like the limited edition of this game in like a Japanese pawn shop when they were there, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
you're so lucky.
I didn't look hard for it because like I was looking for literature of literature. Let me see if I can find that developer's blog though. Great Ace Attorney blog. I really, because I know they do it for like all the Ace Attorney games, right? Like they'll have like localization blogs.
They do. They do, although yeah, the things they talk about changes between each one.
Yeah, I think this is the one about the localization. Yeah, because the reason why I found these was because I was looking for the logo for the game, so like for my thumbnails and stuff.
Yeah.
And so they did a whole blog about like localizing the logo.
Yes, they did.
So here's a link to the blog that you guys can check out. Specifically the one that Kira's referencing about localizing like the script.
Yeah, it's a fascinating topic. It really gives you that appreciation for the people behind the localization and translation.
Yeah, for sure. And the localization director, Janet, she's been with them since Phoenix Wright 1, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so like I really commend them because like I completely understand, like I'm assuming they hesitated localizing these ones because it just like it would have been such a difficult thing to do, especially during the 3DS era. So like that's why I'm really grateful to have it now.
Exactly.
Oh god, I love this game so much.
Close, you say, with a local lady. A compatriot's criminally contradictory conduct.
Well, I suppose your experience of studying abroad depends to a large extent on your character.
As they say, many men, many minds.
How many men on this mine right here? Mr. Sholmes has an open mind. Mr. Natsume, a closed one. Possibly a slightly black and white view, do you think, Mr. Sholmes?
Well, anyway, if that's how you feel about being abroad, why do you choose to stay here?
Wasn't it to further our nation's understanding of the English language or something?
Yes, that's right.
So what were you doing in Japan before you came to Great Britain then?
I was a school teacher. Of English, of course.
Oh my god. Before you go, I can totally see it. At least, because I know that Soseki's supposed to be like actually like Natsume Soseki's an actual person, but like in the context of this, like just this character and him being a teacher, he reminds me of my Japanese teacher when I was in college. He was also like a smaller, short man, and he had like a very like, I don't know, like a kind of attitude that was just very much like, "Aw, Mr. Miura."
Aw.
It was really cute. But yeah.
I had a female Japanese prof, and I remember when we learned like hiragana and katakana, she made us do what she called hiragana tai chi, where you draw it with your hands while you're saying it. So you'd be like, ah, and we would draw ah with our hands, and we'd all stand up and do it at the same time.
That's so cute. Oh my god. Can you still speak it, or do you remember anything about it?
It's just been so long. I need to go brush up on it.
Yeah, no, I felt like that way too. I was like really scared when I went on my trip because I was like, I haven't spoken it in a while. I haven't read it in a bit. And then like when you go there, have you been there before or no?
A long time ago, yeah.
Yeah, like when I went again, I was just like, oh, fight or flight, time to remember everything. And then I had to remember everything.
I had to do that when I went to France. I was like, okay, God, you got to use all that French that you learned. And I was like, I was able to ask for something in the supermarket, and I was like, yes,
Can you show
I
off
did
some
it.
French? Can you show off some French?
I don't think I would do. I don't think I feel confident doing that now.
Okay. That's so cute though. I like that. I was never taught that way. No. It's really funny though because like with like you know how a lot of people are like, oh, I can't really read katakana that well. My weeaboo ass was like, oh, I can read katakana because that's how a lot of video games use their character names.
How else am I supposed to navigate the Japanese websites to buy my foreign goods?
Listen, you're not wrong. Okay, yeah, a little tangent, but yeah.
A bit cursory, perhaps, but I managed to discover some information about Mr. Natsume's teaching days. In my book, this seems to have everything in it.
That's just a little outside the field of law, isn't it, Miss Susato and your Wikipedia?
Well, let me pose you a question, Mr. Naruhodo. If you had to translate the English phrase, I love you, into Japanese, what would it become?
Oh, ooh. Oh, that's easy. aishiteru or suki desu.
Wrong. According to Mr. Natsume's teaching, at least.
Huh? What?
Would you like to explain, Mr. Natsume? Yes, of course. Your research was very thorough. I've always used to tell my students that we Japanese don't express ourselves that way. Rather, we might say, "Ski ga kirei desu na."
Oh my god! That's wow.
Oh, my dear Mr. Natsume, I must interject. Tsuki ga kirei desu ne would translate as the moon is beautiful, isn't it?
I know that! The point is that we Japanese are reticent when it comes to expressing our emotions. We prefer to show our feelings of adoration, our ski, by appreciating the beauty of the moon, the tsuki.
Oh, using the tsuki to express ski. It's an amusing play on words, I see.
No! Or in language you might understand better, shomes. It's not a play on words, it's subtle, it's humble, it's fleeting and beautiful, it's art!
I feel like this is like a weeaboo just yelling at someone. Oh.
Isn't it just being shy? Oh,
Oh, my dear fellow, the foreign dancing girl will forever be out of your reach with such an attitude.
ugh.
Imagine how the great Mr. Mori would act. He would win the lady's heart in a flash with a well-paced and unrestrained, "I love you."
Ugh, that smooth Mr. Mori! Am I destined to live in his shadow forever?
Just what sort of man is he in that imagination of yours?
Fact is, I just can't settle in this foggy London town with all its foreign inhabitants. I've lost count of the number of different lodgings I tried before I found myself here. That happens, I even lived on Baker Street at one time.
Oh my god, hold on. I just googled Natsume Soseki and he's pretty handsome actually.
No, really? A South scholar lives near there, a man by the name of William James Craig. His knowledge of Sao is unsurpassed. He's been a great inspiration to me over the...
Oh, forgive the interruption, but am I supposed to be familiar with this Sao of which you speak?
It's Shakespeare, of course. Shakespeare! But in Japanese we write it as Sa and O. It's a phonetic representation using kanji characters, so England is Igirisu and America is America.
Come to think of it, we use the same character in Ri in one word and Risu in another. Oh, talk about confusing.
So, Shakespeare is Sao in Japanese. Presumably, the Sa is a brutal attempt at the first Sha, Shay, in which first, where's the spear?
I never thought of that. We only have the O left.
Which could, even in the most charitable interpretation, only be a brutal attempt at old man.
It seems to me that whoever had the job of deciding on the characters for his name got bored very early on. Complete kanji character catastrophe!
So then, on to the burning question. What about me? How do you write my name?
Sorry?
Herlock Sholmes, my dear fellow.
Oh my god, this must have also been a nightmare to like also localize because they had to go
Yes.
with Herlock Sholmes. Do they talk about that in the blog?
I'm not sure if they mentioned this specific part. They definitely talk about the moon part.
Okay,
and
yeah.
the Shakespeare part, I think.
Oh my god, yeah, I can only imagine because it was something about, it was like the estate, right? Wouldn't allow Sherlock to be like used like this? Or
Yeah,
or
like
the gondola?
apparently Yeah, like apparently the public domain of it is different for different countries too. So that's why they were able to use it in Japan but not here. Because in the Japanese version, he is just Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, I remember reading that, like, it's no longer copyrighted this year, which is really funny, but the localization, did it come out last year or 2 years ago now?
It was summer of 2021.
Oh my god, it's been 2 years now. Yeah, in Japanese, it's just Sherlock Holmes. But
Yeah.
because at the time when this game got released, the copyright still was, like, active, so they had to do Sherlock Holmes.
Yes.
Sherlock Holmes, my dear fellow. There must be Japanese characters for my name.
Oh dear. I'm sorry, Mr. Sholmes, but none exist that I'm aware of.
What? Am I nothing to you, Japanese? In that case, it is a matter of paramount importance. You must construct my name in kanji at once.
Oh, well, we could use a kanji that's pronounced so to start with, and then use one more to give so, perhaps? I think that would be about right, Mr. Sholmes.
That's almost the same as Sao, isn't it?
Yes, you employ the dreaded O. I don't want people to confuse me with an old man who died centuries ago.
I'm sure the world's greatest literary figure would rather not be confused with you either.
Well, the world's greatest detective is still youthful and full of vigor. So how about so handsome?
Oh yes, that sounds wonderful. I'm sure everyone will be calling you that 100 years from now.
Even now, look at Twitter. He literally won, like, the Great Ace Attorney, or the Ace Attorney's franchise's sexiest man bowl bracket. How can she say that with a straight face?
What about me then? Iris? Perhaps Ahime, since the second character doesn't seem to matter. Ahime? Oh yes, Princess of Love. That's an adorable name for you, Iris. Stop! Please, with a name like that! Mr. Mori is likely to turn up at any moment and rashly declare I love you!
This Mori-san has become quite a character in Souseki-san's mind.
And you, Mr. Naruhodo, might I venture Kurobozu as a fitting name for you, as in the Dark Monk?
Oh, that's very good. It describes you perfectly, Bruno.
So you think I'll be wearing this black varsity uniform for the rest of my days, do you?
But Mr. Naruhodo already has a Japanese name. I don't believe he needs another. Well, anyway. We were talking about your life here in London. Weren't we, Mr. Natsume? You should just get out and have fun. Oh, the landlady has said as much to me too.
Mrs. Garadeb?
It wasn't fun at all. It was all frightful. Whatever do you mean? A cycle incident!
An incident? On a bicycle? Oh yes, come to think of it. There's an old bicycle parked just outside, isn't there? It's in a sorry state, though.
I tried to say no to her, but she insisted I took it for a ride. Perhaps my pronunciation was wrong. So I took my life in my hands and attempted to ride the steel spiderweb stallion to a nearby park. I really don't think there's anything wrong with your pronunciation, Mr. Natsume. I'm sorry my voice suddenly sounded like yours.
Joan Garadeb just isn't the kind of woman to take no for an answer.
If you're going to die, you might as well die in beautiful surroundings, so the park was my first thought. After a whole day of dicing with death, I emerged with only relatively minor bruises.
So, you got the knack of it?
Don't be silly. Dying isn't something you can learn to do. Mr. Natsume, you keep talking about dicing with death and dying and so forth, but riding a bicycle is supposed to be fun. Oh no, that's just what people tell you, but it's an old wives' tale. Is it? I mean, just consider the real name of the vehicle. It's not called a dicycle for nothing. Oh, anyone expects to use such an aptly named vehicle to move forwards is beyond me. Pedal power promises pain! I didn't think it was possible to get worse with practice. I'm lucky to be alive! Although, I must say, after looking death in the eye for a whole week, I did at least manage to mount the steed reliably. And notwithstanding a few wobbles, I found I could make progress in the forward direction.
Oh my god, the image of him on a bike would be so cute. I really hope there's fan art of him on a bike. What a triumph.
Deduction is much the same. When first presented with a problem, the mental exertion of trying to solve it only leads to bitter disappointment. But after a week of picking one's ways carefully along the path of reasoning and doubt, or thought, one begins to see results.
So, is that why all of your off-the-cuff deductions always seem half-baked?
What a wonderful insight into your extraordinary mind, Mr. Sholmes. Unfortunately, after wobbling down the street, I noticed there were little stones everywhere. Death traps. Not that way, I said to myself. But the wild vehicle wouldn't listen. It walled me on and on down the street. So of course, I hit one of those deadly stones and the crazy colt threw me. It's just my luck. Bicycles are the epitome of my pitiful life.
I love him so much. I wish I could disagree.
On the same subject, I'm sure there's a famous American author who's written about having a similar experience. Oh yes, I've read that essay too, Iris.
Some of us are better read than others.
Well, no more bicycles for me. Oh, Mr. Natsume, at least you have an interesting anecdote to take back with you to Japan, if nothing else.
You always manage to put a positive spin on things, don't you, Miss Susato?
Personally, I haven't mounted a bicycle for some time.
No, me neither. That's good.
So how about a jaunt? We shall all ride together.
Huh?
That sounds great! I'll perch behind Miss Susato.
But the sun is going down. It'll be pitch black before long. London street lamps are very bright, you know, and the fog is too thick today. And my beloved ride is all bent out of shape.
Oh, my dear fellow, if you are bound to topple the vehicle anyway, it's fitting that it's already bent out of shape.
It's settled then. Come along, Mr. Natsume. Shall we go? Ski ga kirei desu ne.
Don't tell me that's his translation of no thank you as well.
Indeed, Mr. Natsume, the moon is at its most beautiful at precisely this time in the evening.
Oh,
Are you hitting on me?
we're not Japanese. You can't beat around the bush with us.
Oh my goodness gracious, 1 second. Honeyman, thank you so much for the raid. Hello, gamers. Welcome in. Hello, hello, hello. Sorry, we're kind of, we have a guest today, so I'm not able to give the full spiel, but I hope you guys had a great time. If anyone's new here, it's nice to meet you guys. My name is Kieran. I'm a magical idol VTuber, as well as a queer Filipino-American voice actor for animation, anime, and video games. If you guys play Fire Emblem Heroes, I play Sane and Rickard in that game. If you guys play Genshin, I play Kaedehara Yoshinori, whose cousin has a great-grandfather. And if you guys like yaoi or boys love, I play Koichi Mizuki in the Titan's Bride. Right now, we're currently doing the Great Ace Attorney side stories, and I'm joined with my friend Kiro Style here. We're reading for all the characters. We're just having fun. I hope your stream went well, Hanirin. I really, really, really appreciate it. If you guys need to head out because you guys, had a long stream, I completely understand. Please don't forget to treat your guys to water, a little stretchy, and if you guys need to take your medications, don't forget to do that. But otherwise, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Okie dokie.
What a weird and wonderful world!
Oh, is that the end?
I guess so.
Oh, he's so cute. I love him so much. Sarah, thank you so much for following and joining the constellations. And yeah, I hope you had a good one too. I'm having a great one. It's chilly. I haven't been reading the descriptions for these at all. Alrighty, number 7. And then, of course, just so you guys know, these are the side stories, but they do take place after certain trials in the game. So if you guys want to be wary about spoilers, just in case someone says something, I'd probably be careful. But if you guys need to head out, it's all good. No problem. "30th April, 12:20 p.m. Briar Road." Oh boy, who do you want to be in this couple?
Can I be Rolly?
You got it.
Sir, Constable Rolly Beep reporting for duty. Thanks to the good offices of Lord Van Zeeks. I'm back on my beat here in the capital, doing my best for the good citizens of London, sir.
My Rolly, back in his Bobby's uniform. You couldn't look any more handsome if you tried.
My love, you say the sweetest things. Oh, Pat.
Oh, Rolly.
To us, Lord Van Zeeks isn't the Reaper the Bailey at all.
Oh, no, of course not. He's the patron saint of Bobby's.
The patron saint? Oh yes, Pat, you're so right, my darling. Keeping us in pocket he is. On my first day back on the job, what did I find in the gutter? A shilling, my love, a whole shilling.
Oh, Rolly, I always believed in you. I always knew one day that you'd find some big, small change.
With just that shilling, I could buy you a cheap bunch containing a single flower, my sugar.
Oh, it's so romantic.
A single flower? Oh, how romantic.
But I'm so sorry, Pat. Only moments ago, that shilling disappeared.
Disappeared? But how, my love? How?
I think maybe... No, I'm sure. There was that girl here, sir. You swiped my precious shilling, didn't you? You cheeky little diver.
Can you handle Gina's accent, or do you want me to take it?
I have such a hard time with Gina.
Okay, I'll do it then. Blimey. Oh, okay, so I'll ask it because I know she's gonna be a major character in the second game, just because I literally own I have merch of the game now, and I see what she looks like in the second game. Does she change the way that she talks, or is it still gonna be really difficult to read?
It's the same matter of speech.
Oh god.
I know, every time I read her, I'm like, hey, there's so many apostrophes here.
I know, it's
okay, let's figure out what
hard.
she's trying to say.
It's hard, but her outfit looks cute though.
It does. It does.
Took your time getting round to me, didn't ya? I thought the lovey-dovey stuff weren't ever gonna end. So, a shilling, you say? Lifted from you, were it? Don't know nothing about it. Where's the evidence, eh?
Right there. The evidence is dancing around the back of your hand, young lady.
Oh, care package. All right, Shieldin, thank you so much. Everyone, let's go ahead and stand up. We're gonna go ahead and twist our bodies to the left.
To the left.
Twist our bodies to the right.
To the right.
We're gonna stretch our arms straight up to the sky.
To the sky.
Roll out that right shoulder. Roll out that left shoulder. Very slowly, very gently, roll out your neck. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. And drink some water. Thank you so much. Man, I just requested a commission to do a little animation of the stretching for the care package. It would have been even better if I could have added in. Can you also add another guy in the back just chanting the same thing?
You stole it from me. You lifted it from my pocket just now. You've got a nerve stealing from a bobby.
Cobblers! The coin's mine! How could you know anyway? How could you know if it was just taken just now or not?
Dear me. You don't get it, do you? We've hardly got a penny to our name. It's that coin felt as heavy to me as a bar of gold.
Huh?
I'm telling you, the moment it left my pocket, I knew. I felt myself get a good few pounds lighter.
Ah!
Yep, that coin has got my blood, sweat, and tears all over it.
What's the matter with you, eh, Mr. Norado?
Huh? Me? Sorry?
When a lady's in trouble, true gent's supposed to be there to help. Straight away, not an hour later.
This isn't my fault. I haven't stolen anything.
What about you, eh, Soames? Thought you were supposed to be a great detective.
Oh, dear me, Miss Lestrade. You took your time getting around to me, didn't you? I thought that long dispute was never going to end.
You only said give us a minute when we spotted you over the road and said hello. And that was 10 minutes ago, Ginny. We've just been standing here listening to you quarrel with this bobby. Do beg your pardon, madam. We shouldn't be troubling the public with police business.
But that shilling belongs to us, doesn't it, Rolly?
And of course it does, my love. It's just for you and me, my darling.
My stars.
This was just supposed to be a nice stroll with Iris and Mr. Sholmes before afternoon tea. Why did we have to run into another fiasco on Briar Road? I don't really see how we could be of any help, Gina. There's no way of knowing who the coin really belongs to if it was just dropped in the gutter.
I wouldn't be so sure of that, Runo.
What?
I have a feeling I might know the answer to the question of whose coin that is.
Ah, my bright young fellow lodger. Let us hear your deduction.
Well, there's actually a reason why I suggested a stroll down Briar Road.
Oh, what reason?
You see, I was here yesterday and, well, I dropped a little something. So I want to come and look for it while enjoying an afternoon stroll.
Wait, you dropped something? You don't mean...
It was the pocket money that Hurley gave me.
Oh, it's this, Iris? You dropped that, did you?
I'm so sorry. I went to the market on Lime Street yesterday to pick up some herbs, you see. But on the way, I must have dropped it. The 1 shilling coin you gave me. Ugh.
A one-ball bet?
Yes, and when I thought back over the route I took, I realized I must have dropped it here. Constable, you haven't seen it, have you? It's all my pocket money, and now it's gone.
Oh no, she's gaslighting.
Well, I'm afraid I don't know anything about that, young lady.
What rotten luck, dropping your money like that. Oh, sorry.
I dare say the constable and his companion could give you a run for your shmoney with their wide eyes.
If it's all the same to you, Mr. Sholmes, I think I'd prefer not to be used as a yardstick for looking guilty.
Oh, it's tough really, ain't it, Iris? You dropped it so it ain't yours no more. Anyway, you know what they say. What goes around comes around, so don't feel bad.
Bad luck, Iris. It doesn't look like you're going to get your coin back.
Oh, I can't believe I lost it. And straight after Hurley gave it to me as well.
Yes, regrettable indeed. I seem to recall that particular coin was rather significant.
What do you mean significant?
To be specific, it was especially significant to you, Runo.
Significant to me? You don't mean... It was the coin from last night's wager?
The very same, my dear fellow.
What's this then? What wager?
It was a game of poker. A duel between Hurley and Runo.
Oh, strip poker. Never mind.
Poker? What, that tricky card game, you mean?
As a lawyer, I have the perfect poker face. You'll never be able to tell what I'm thinking, said he. But depriving Mr. Naruhodo of his entire fortune was even easier than finding that missing thoroughbred. And of course his clothes as well.
Ugh, it was so infuriating. Reliving it now just still makes me grit my teeth. Sorry, Iris. I had every intention of paying you back the shmoney I owe you, but you'll have to wait, I'm afraid.
Yes, I know. Don't worry. Next month it's fine.
Let me guess, Otto. Yeah, whole fortune. It was one whole shilling. My entire monthly stipend. And I lost all of it. As I handed it over to Mr. Sholmes, I gritted my teeth so hard my gum started to bleed. Hold on, I gotta convert 1 shilling to USD. What? That's like not even like a cent. Oh, that's Kenyan shilling. 1 British shilling. 24 US cents?
I guess you'd have to account for inflation as well then.
Oh my god.
Please, Runo, don't exaggerate. That's a horrible image.
What about a lawyer who borrows money from a 10-year-old girl? Now that's a horrible image.
Why do I feel like my reputation with this couple has just fallen through the floor?
There are few things more invigorating than taking a man for all he's worth. Like taking all his clothes.
Don't be so pleased with yourself, Hurley. It's not as if Runo ever had a chance of winning.
Wait. What? What do you mean by that?
Well, using that special ink I developed, anyone could...
Thank you, Iris. That will do. I'm sure this conversation is proving every dull for everyone. What's done is done. The game is over now. There's no point crying over spilled milk.
You think you can girl boss me? Special ink, you say? Well, sir, that sounds like a so risky business. It's right up my alley.
Man, I can like... Not to write fanfiction in the middle of this, but I just want to see a game of like Uno between all of them.
Oh, Rolly, I love your dauntless spirit. You laugh in the face of danger. You might even be a bad boy.
Come on then, Ira, spill it. What's the special ink about, eh?
Ah, well, it's what's sometimes called invisible ink. All you have to do is write the suit and number on the reverse side of every card. And with the aid of some special glasses, the whole game is laid bare to you.
Wait! You were wearing glasses that night, weren't you, Mr. Sholmes? He said something along the lines of, "My eyesight appears to have suddenly worsened." And the moment you failed to question that as old was the moment I knew I had won the game. Mind games, was it? Trying to throw me off with your eccentric ways?
And you'll never guess what the invisible ink is made of.
No.
It's urine.
Is it really?
Well, that's one of the things you could choose. I mean, you could use like lemon juice, but
Oh, God.
it's just a scene from the. I just remember it's a scene from The Office where Dwight's like, "I made it with invisible ink. You'll never guess what it was made of."
Oh, my God.
It's urine. It's urine.
She's telling me Sholmes used his piss to see every card what Otto had. What? But that's not mind games. That's nasty. Oh, my dear fellow, what an accusation. Man, the more I learned something today, but I don't know if I should have learned it. Would you honestly consider me a cheat? I tried not to say anything other than cheat. Please, I prefer trickster. Whatever you call it, the game doesn't count now. Understand, Mr. Sholmes? Oh, dear me. Well, out of respect for the bad grace with which you take defeat, allow me to return your shilling. Did you hear that, Gina? So give it here! Let me out of this! This is Bobbit mine from the start, no question!
No, sir.
Oh, whoops.
That there one Bob bit was lifted from this here Bobby's pocket only a few minutes ago.
So you keep saying! Come on then! Where's the evidence? The law, right, is about evidence, but not my stuff. You see, Mr. Naruhodo, is a trite excuse in court, and others will parrot it. Only whenever I do say that in court, it isn't as trite excuse, you know.
As I said, sir, that coin has got my blood, sweat, and tears all over it.
That's right, it has. Raleigh's blood, sweat, and tears are the evidence.
Blood, you say? In that case, it's time
No, not the
for
Glock.
this.
Did you think...
Well, if there's any trace of blood on that coin, we'll soon know about it. Alright, Ginny. Hold very still.
What? Ah! Look at that! See there on the coin? They clearly didn't want to take the budget to animate the scene or make a new model. It's clearly changed color. In other words, there's blood on this coin.
Once again, as I said, sir, that'll be my blood, sweat, and tear. Oh, wait. I've seen blood turn that color before. Yes, I know whose it is. I know whose coin it is.
What?
The rightful owner of this bloodstained shilling is... Bruno.
Huh? Me? And from the disappearance of blood, and from the appearance of blood, I would say it is quite fresh. Left within the last 24 hours. Within the last... Ah! In that case...
So, it's the coin what Sholmes had off Aldo last night in the poker game.
Oh, Bruno, do you mean you really did make your gums bleed?
I told you I was so infuriated to lose! I had to grit my teeth as I handed over the shmoney! Oh, no, the screen turned to black. You probably got an ad during that.
Blimey, you're as on up as me by the sound of it. Well, I thought you had a proper job.
Come on, Gina, just hand it over, would you? The shilling. That's rightfully mine.
Fine, all right then. Just stop your bleeding staring.
I finally have it back. Oh, it's like a dream come true.
Really had that one in the bag after all.
That's wonderful news, Bruno. I'm so happy for you. Now then, as you promised. I'd like my money back, please. The shilling I lent you before.
Oh my god.
Ah!
Girl boss, gaslight. You did say that you'd pay it back out of this month's pocket money, didn't you?
Oh, yes, well, then I suppose gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss.
Oh, my dear fellow, do be kind to your gums.
It looks like that shilling was always destined to be taken from you, sir.
For some reason, the phrase serves you right.
Oh, wait, why is she British?
For some reason, the phrase serves you right is floating around in my head.
Oh, Iris. As promised, here's the shilling I owe you.
Oh, you're repaying me already? Well, thank you. Next month would have been fine, though.
What's it all about anyway? What are you lending other money for? It's money.
You know how many sea anemones he's bought? Ah, well, actually,
That just
it's because
clicked
I
in
went
my
to...
head.
Ah, yes, well, actually, it's because I went to the Lime Street Market yesterday to buy herbs. Bruno.
Herbs? For Odo? Yes, the tea Miss Susato left behind is top quality gyokuro tea, but it's just so bitter. So when Iris suggested mixing it with some herbs to make it more palatable, I asked her to buy some.
That's right. We made a special Japanese herbal tea with a leftover gyokuro. I'm going to call it Susie's Special Blend. I do hope you all try it.
The excruciating bitterness clings to the throat. You can persuade the bright green gloop to leave the cup. Why, it sounds quite delicious! Yeah, right.
Well, it would appear this shilling's brief adventures are now at an end.
Adventures?
You must agree, my dear fellow, that the coin has made a considerable journey since last night.
Let's see. Originally, it was the coin I was supposed to give to Iris to pay her for the herbs. But then in our poker duel last night, it passed to you, Mr. Sholmes.
You gave it to Iris as spending money.
And I dropped it here sometime yesterday.
Then my beloved Rolly found it a little while ago and picked it up.
Before it was lifted from my pocket by this here diver. I then used my favorite gun to show up the blood that was on it.
And let slip about Sholmes' little scam in his card game last night.
The annulment of which resulted in the coin returning to the ownership of Mr. Naruhodo.
Allowing me to pay Iris the shmoney I owed her after all. For the herbs she bought in order to make Susie's special blend tea.
And now, after all that, the coin is resting safely in my pocket. Still stained with your blood.
Oh no! Yeah, you're right. That's an adventure. But what are you supposed to take away from it, huh? That this 1 shilling coin belongs to Iris and Iris alone, I think.
I cannot fault your observation, Mr. Naruhodo.
Well, you know what they say. What goes around comes around.
Why do I get the feeling that Iris knew it was coming around to her from the very beginning?
Priceless, as they say. Well then, my dear fellow, how about this evening we indulge in some bitter tea and a bitter rematch? I'll even allow you to stake at the coming month's spending shmoney in advance.
And I won't piss all over the cards.
And I'll also take off my clothes if you ask nicely.
I fold. So everyone in this game, so the main 2 characters are Japanese and then everyone else is British. But I just gave the yeehaw, the country girl accent because I don't know, I just felt like it fit that character.
Isn't that right, my Rolly?
Oh, Pat.
Ooh, do you think you can do Van Zeeks?
I think I could do Benzies.
Yeah. Oh, okay, it looks like this one might be, it's the last one, so I probably would advise anyone that, like, is conscious about spoilers to probably step away from this one. I mean, do you think that do you think this might, like, spoil some people? For sure?
I don't think so, but I don't really remember what happens in this one.
Okay. Well, we'll just give you guys a cautionary warning just in case. Date unknown. The Old Bailey courtroom. Take care.
Yeah, good night. Thank you so much for coming by.
Oh my god, Santa.
Ho ho ho! This court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Herlock Sholmes. This is a most extraordinary case of murder. Counsel,
that's actually supposed to be you can choose what voice mod you want to use for the dialogue, but I'll go ahead and I'll refund you that one. I'll refund you that one after the stream.
this is a most extraordinary case of murder. Counsels, I assume I may proceed.
Yes, my lord. The defense is ready.
At your discretion, my lord.
Very well. I hereby call on the prosecution to introduce this case.
The incident in question took place 2 days ago, late at night when the ground was blanketed with snow. The location of the incident was the residence of the accused, Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
Indeed. The now famous address of number 221B Baker Street, was it?
The address may have enjoyed fame once, my lord, but will henceforth endure infamy for this grim crime. Yes, sir. Well put. The victim, a certain Madame Rosie, was found asphyxiated on the accused sofa.
My word!
Objection! But it's unclear as to whether the victim was actually killed in the defendant's suite or not.
Okay, that's cost you 5 pence now.
No. After all, when Mr. Sholmes left the room for only a brief moment, Madame Rosie somewhat vanished herself out of his room completely.
Vanished herself, counsel. The victim? Oh, quite true, my lord. There is but one adjoining door between my drawing room and the kitchen. Yet having brewed some tea in the kitchen, I returned to find the room completely empty. There was nobody else present? Ordinarily, my fellow lodger, Iris, would be at home. However, on the day in question, she had been invited to a meeting of a scientific society in the city. I'm afraid you have a propensity for exaggeration, sir. You claim the victim vanished herself, but really? It seems to me entirely plausible that she chose to leave via the main entrance to your suite.
As it happens, my lord, the door to the accused's room was locked at the time, from the inside.
I love that you give him the like. It's so- oh, because you're chewing on the fish and chips.
Very true, Inspector. As such, I can say with considerable surety that the victim did not leave via my front door.
But what about, yes, she could have snuck out through a window. Oh my God, you got accepted for your PhD. Congratulations. But are you actually going to London, or is that just because we're playing this game? Either way, congratulations.
Objection!
The windows in the room were not locked, it's true, and the victim had the opportunity. However,
I'm charging you 5 pence as well.
there was snow all around the building outside. Not a patch of it had been disturbed. Would my learned friend care to explain how the victim could have left without leaving a trail?
Oh my God, when in the last trial, when Rinosuke was like, well, my learned friend, that was like the most like vindication.
Reverse card.
Oh God, I imagine all the fifth cases like are just like super long and super dramatic, but like this one was just so good.
So the victim, Madame Rosie, somehow vanished from the scene before she was killed.
Ah!
Oh, naturally, I was alarmed by the sudden disappearance of my guest. So I summoned this gentleman, who resides in the attic room above my own. We took a cab to Scotland Yard.
I can confirm that the defendant called for me, and I saw a suite on my way downstairs. And yes, I'm quite sure it was empty, just as Mr. Sholmes has said.
When we reached the yard, this very detective happened to be there.
Well, yes, you see, I was just in my office for a while, having got back from some, important business.
And then, having explained the situation to the inspector, we traveled back to Baker Street together. At that time, there was no footprints in the snow around the building other than the ones we'd made.
Do I take it then, Counsel, that you personally witnessed the scene where the incident took place?
No, my lord. I went straight up to bed in my own room in the attic.
Inspector Gregson, however, was met with a most blood-curdling sight. On Mr. Sholmes' sofa, the vanished Madame Rosie, motionless.
So the victim was already dead when you discovered her, Inspector?
No, my lord. Not dead, but far off it. She mustered all her remaining strength to say these dying words. That rotter, Sholmes, will be the death of me.
Oh, yes. I overheard that remark at the time, too, delivered in a rasping voice full of malice.
No!
Those words indeed proved to be her last. The victim expired moments later, there on the sofa. The cause of death was identified as damage to the respiratory tract as a result of strangulation. Pray, does the accused dare to contest the inspector's account?
Certainly not. In fact, the inspector has done an unusually fine job of summarizing the salient points. Sholmes will be the death of me, damning departing words indeed.
In her final moments, The victim named her killer. You, Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
Oh, but the defendant had no reason to take the victim's life! Perhaps you could tell the court, Mr. Sholmes, who exactly this Madame Rosie was.
Ah, yes, of course. Did I ever mention her to you? I'd extended an invitation to her that evening, though she is loquacious in the extreme. The most trivial of matters quickly becomes a quarrel. I was only too pleased I'd leave her presence to make tea.
Great.
It would appear, then, that the accused did in fact have a motive for silencing his heuristic guest permanently.
Putting that tenuous motive aside, what about the other mysteries surrounding the case?
I'm inclined to agree with the defense. There remains a number of inscrutable details. The victim's alleged disappearance and subsequent reappearance leaving no trail of footprints, for example.
That's right! The crime described by the prosecution could never have happened!
Yet the victim named the accused in her dying breath. It seems to me that my learned friend has overlooked a significant detail here.
Nonsense! What have I overlooked?
The man in the dock, the so-called great detective, all too frequently makes the following bold claim. There is no crime beyond the realms of possibility, no mystery beyond my powers of reasoning.
Ah!
So, Mr. Sholmes, you will have no difficulty in explaining how the crime thus described could have taken place. Therefore, I propose a toast to the great detective upholding his name.
But of course, were I to put my mind to the matter, the crime would immediately appear to all present to be entirely feasible. Please, Mr. Sholmes, whose side are you on?
All you need to say is, no, even I can't think of a way that a crime like that could have been committed.
Let the accused's admission be noted by the court. Though the crime may appear impossible to us mortals of inferior mental capacity, this man alone claims to know exactly how it was done.
No, hold on! That's a very fragile argument!
Thank you, counsels. I believe I've heard more than enough to proceed my adjudication. The accused great detective did, in some inscrutable manner, willfully murder the victim, Madame Rosie. I therefore find the defendant...
Where's the jury? Where's my summation examination?
Let this man be taken from this courtroom and in some equally inscrutable manner be sanctioned for his crimes. Court is adjourned.
The jury, does it only exist in this game, or is it also in any of the later Phoenix Wright games?
It's mentioned in a couple, but we only really use it in these games.
Okay, yeah. Oh. God, I love the way he says hold it. It's so cute. My lord, please. The truth about the mystery surrounding this case are known to another besides the great detective.
What's this?
On my word, Mr. Naruhodo, you are coming along wonderfully. You've deduced a fundamental truth about this case, I believe.
Which would be, detective?
That the truth to this case is known. Only to the true culprit, obviously. Is it not so, Gregson?
What? Well, I suppose, yes.
You don't mean... Are you suggesting... Mr. Sholmes?
Do you have an idea as to what actually happened that night? An idea? Oh, my dear fellow. I could explain the entire incident from start to finish, with not a single detail omitted.
Objection!
5 pence. Also, it literally is just Justinian. That's so funny.
It seems the detective has failed to grasp the situation.
Pray, Mr. Reaper, which of us has truly failed to grasp the situation, I wonder?
Then answer me this. You claim that prior to the incident, the victim suddenly vanished without a trace from your room. If so, how exactly did Madame Rosie disappear?
Why, naturally, via the window. It was ajar, after all. But that can't be! This room is a whole story above street level, and anyway, no prints were found in the snow! There are any number of ways to avoid leaving tracks in the snow, surely. Such as? Such as flying, for instance.
A fatuous notion. And to where do you propose the victim flew, Mr. Sholmes?
Is it not entirely plain? To the culprit above, of course. For having left my suite, that is clearly where Madame Rosie was murdered. Take a moment to consider the cruel irony, if you will. By her own volition, she flew directly to her death.
Objection!
Do you forget, detective? The victim's corpse was discovered on your own sofa.
No doubt because a killer carried her back there. But what about the lack of footprints in the snow again, then? There just weren't any. Other than our own from when we returned home ourselves. If by our footprints you refer to your own and mine, you are quite right. But there were those of another. On the night in question, there was one other person who could have conveyed the victim to my sofa.
What?
Good gracious! To whom do you refer, sir? A man whose somewhat unavailing presence at the scene of the crime would be questioned by no one. Unavailing? Oh, you don't mean... Indeed I do. A man who hastened to the scene directly upon learning of the incident at Scotland Yard. Namely... you, Inspector Gregson.
Ah!
When you arrived at my address on Baker Street, you were carrying the half-dead Madame Rosie with you. You waited for a suitable opportunity, and then laid the victim on my sofa. He did what? Man, Gregson just can't catch a break. But we were with the inspector when he arrived. How could he possibly have been carrying the victim? We would have noticed. My dear fellow, a most obvious answer presents itself, does it not? The inspector is rarely, if ever, without his overcoat. The victim was simply conveyed in one of its many pockets.
I fail to see what makes this detective great, but I can say one thing with great certainty. A human body cannot fit into the pocket of an overcoat.
I believe you may have all fallen foul of a rather significant misapprehension.
What?
Madame Rosie was not a human. I beg your pardon? Mr. Sholmes? Yes, Mr. Naruhodo. Something troubles you, perhaps? Whatever gives you that idea. Exactly what sort of creature was Madame Rosie? Is it not apparent already? A parakeet, of course! Huh? A most self-conceited specimen, in fact. A parakeet? She was an incessant talker, I must say. Her manner was quite intolerable at times. Wont to turn every conversation to a quarrel. I thought to strangle the creature on more than one occasion. You had a quarrel with a parakeet? But of course! Why else would she have chosen to fly from my window so uncordially that evening? To the abode of the inspector here beside me, no less. To Inspector Gregson's abode. But why? Because that was the parakeet's home, naturally.
What are you...
The inspector was called away from town for some days, so it was arranged that I would look after the bird. But it would appear that she was overcome with a sudden yearning for her keeper, thus prompting her flight from my comfortable suite to the inspector's office at Scotland Yard. Well, Gregson, I believe it's high time you explained. Give us your account of what happened that night, sparing no details, of course. Inspector Gregson?
It was an accident. I got back from being away that evening, you see. I just walked through the door of my office. I never imagined Madame Rosie would be on her way back to the yard as well. I slammed the door shut behind me, just as she was trying to fly through it.
So, Madame Rosie.
She got sandwiched between the door and the frame and fell to the floor.
Wait, that's like so sad.
Right? Never to move again. Because of me.
Way to incorporate murder back into the trials.
Well, I never.
I had to do something, and just when I was trying to think of a plan, you fellas arrived talking about some incident at Baker Street.
Ah!
I had to hide Madame Rosie in a hurry, so I stuffed her in my coat pocket and got in the cab with a pair of you.
Sure.
Could possibly have motivated you to behave in such a manner, Inspector? Well, I kind of lost my paycheck from Lord Strongheart, you see.
What? Lord Strongheart? Please tell me I didn't hear that right.
It was the Lord Chief Justice who asked me to look after the bird in the first place. She'd been living with the pigeons at the Supreme Court until then. But apparently the other birds had started to pick on her.
This bird is living a tragic life. Wait, no. Not the sob story.
So for the past 6 months or so, I'd been caring for her in my office at the yard.
I see.
If anything happened to that bird, just imagine. No pay and no time off for the rest of my career. You mark my words, that's what's gonna happen. That's why well...
But the victim's dying words, Inspector. The court heard earlier that Madame Rosie spoke to the name of her assailant on her deathbed.
That rotter, Sholmes, will be the death of me.
Oh, indeed she did. Quite uncalled for, wouldn't you agree? But those words, Are your true feelings, are they not, Inspector?
Ugh.
Clearly you speak of me often at your office at the yard. It's almost as if you're in love with me in this disparaging manner. A manner that the merry parakeets took much into delight in mimicking.
Well, come on. I mean, have you read this month's edition of Rants magazine? Sorry. This is all absolutely true.
I can't believe. Oh my god, it's because Shelms is just so annoying.
Ugh.
Oh, he was having a dream?
Something wrong, Lord Van Zix. No, nothing. I almost drifted off for a moment there. It's hard not to drift off when you've been kept waiting 3 hours already. I wonder if we'll manage to meet with Lord Strongheart at all today. We may have to deliver the report on the Windabank case that he asked for on another day. Tell me, Inspector, what became of that bird? Madame Rosie, you mean? She had a narrow escape, but she's still alive. I delivered her back here not long ago, actually, on Lord Strongheart's orders. He's hoping the pigeons will accept her now. It was something of a shock to hear that she'd been crushed in the doorway of your office. Especially as we were all under the misapprehension that Madame Rosie was a person.
I know, I'm glad they didn't kill her off.
Sorry about that. It was Lord Strongheart's demand that...
Ah, good, you're here. I apologize for my tardiness. I'm exactly 3 hours, 24 minutes, and 57 seconds late.
Oh, no, my lord, no, please don't trouble yourself. Please don't cut my pay. Nothing gives us greater pleasure than standing here doing nothing for hours on end.
Heartening. So, let's hear it then. Your report.
The Windabank trials concluded, but this is far from over.
Wait. Gears in my head are turning. Is Strongheart supposed to be that chief of police guy from Phoenix, right?
I think there are parallels.
But not like a one-to-one like other characters?
I don't think so.
Okay.
It seems that dark, far eastern lawyer and I have some shared destiny. We will meet again. Of that I have no doubt. Did you see that, Lord Van Zeeks? Did you? Madame Rosie went flying off among the pigeons there. Happy as Larry she was. Really, Inspector, you must be relieved.
My God, that was funny. That was like, I did enjoy that was a new perspective on Van Zeeks because I did not get any of that from the first game. Well, that was all 8 escapades. Yeah. Thank you. It is 10:46, so I don't know if like you want to do the moving pictures or not. I'm fine if we don't, like if you need to head out.
I think I probably need to sleep soon.
Okay, yeah. Well, I guess you said that it's about an hour, right?
If you just watch them nonstop, they're all together about an hour.
Okay, maybe I don't have a stream tomorrow, so maybe I might watch them tomorrow. I don't know, but if you're available, you can join if you want to, but otherwise.
Yeah, sure.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Then yeah, I guess maybe tomorrow we'll do a surprise stream, and then we can do a quick little just watch through of the moving pictures with Kiro, and then after that we should be set for everything additional for before the second game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I already looked at the previews. I know someone mentioned earlier to look at Sholmes' second outfit. Here you go. Here's his weeaboo outfit. Okay, then I guess tomorrow we'll go ahead and watch the moving pictures. But thank you guys so much for joining me, and like incredible big thank you to Kiro for getting to do the stream with me.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I really had a lot of fun, and I'd love to have you back again soon.
My pleasure.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys so much for coming out. Obviously, if you guys aren't already, please check out Kiro and follow him, because he's also just honestly, I was like not falling asleep, but like because I always listen to his streams at night. It's a very soothing voice, so I was like, oh my god, it's time for me to go to bed. But yeah, I'm really happy to have you here. Actually, since you are the guest here, do you have any friends that you want to try and redirect our raid to for today?
Oh, it looks like Aru's streaming Yakuza.
Oh, is Aru streaming right now?
Yeah.
Go type in his username in the chat, and I'll go ahead and prep a raid for him. Arudoran 3. All right, well, thank you guys so much for joining me. I guess we'll be back here tomorrow for a really short stream just to finish up the rest of the little moving pictures. But otherwise, yeah, thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, please make sure to give yourself a nice little stretchy, drink your water. And if you guys need to take your medications, don't forget to do that before bed, because you guys deserve it. Thank you guys, and I'll see you soon. Otsu Kieran!
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Good night, guys. Take care.